You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Well, now on Fox 17 News This Morning, the man convicted of hitting a mid-state teen, Janae Edmondson, with his car wants a new trial. We're going to tell you why his lawyer is arguing for the move. And detectives have now arrested a man they say broke into at least 8 different locations and then shot his girlfriend while holding their baby. We'll take you there.
Coming up, I'll have the latest on the search by professionals for Sebastian Rogers from Sumner County.
All right, Karen, thank you so much. And thank you for joining us here on Fox 17 News this morning. It is a Thursday morning on April the 4th. I'm Justin McFarland. We're going to begin this morning with the man convicted of several charges after hitting a mid-state teen with his car and why he's asking for a brand new retrial. Now, Daniel Riley was found guilty of being behind the wheel when he hit Janae Edmondson, now causing her to lose both of her legs. Now, Riley's lawyer is claiming that the court included evidence of past drug use, which did not have to be included. It was used to cause bias with the jury against Riley. That is what the lawyer is claiming. The lawyer is now asking for the court to issue a retrial or for Riley to be acquitted of second-degree assault convictions. We'll see what the judge says. It's been more than a month, and there's still no trace of 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. After scaling back their efforts, authorities are now looking for Rogers in droves this morning. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar joins us live this morning from that search area in Sumner County with more on their efforts and the reaction from the overall community.
Good morning, Justin. We've seen volunteers searching for Sebastian Rogers, like the United Cajun Navy. We've also seen the public doing searches as well. But today's search will be by professionals. Behind me, we are expecting dozens of people to be in cars, including firefighters, Sumner County Sheriff's Office, TBI, and multiple other agencies for day 2 of their massive search for Rogers. We're working to confirm on a time and place still, but yesterday, down the road in neighborhoods on the right side of Long Hollow Pike, we saw dozens of people searching for hours in hopes of finding new clues on Rogers' disappearance. As you mentioned, it's been more than a month and still no trace of him. Crews took to the streets and were in people's yards. One neighbor tells us he's feeling uneasy about all of this commotion.
Feel kind of uncomfortable about doing that, not about having the people there, but about the whole atmosphere of the neighborhood with the loss of a missing child.
During a recent press conference, TBI mentioned that they are asking the public to help find Rogers, but not on the boots ground search. However, passing out flyers and handing out any information to officials that they know about Rogers to help them move closer to finding him. Reporting live in Hendersonville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, well, to see all the previous reporting on the Rogers case, what you want to do is go to our website, fox17.com, and search the word Sebastian. Of course, we'll be checking back in with Karen a little bit later, and we'll bring you latest updates both on air and online. In the meantime, let's get to Greg Belbis. He's standing by with a look at your Thursday forecast.
Yes, the big 3 things to know here on a Thursday morning are patchy morning frost, definitely possible here. We had it in a couple of patches yesterday, but a little more widespread. Temperature's going to drop to right near the freezing point, especially in the Cumberland Plateau. You still got about an hour or two. I know you're waking up right now, maybe even still in bed, to get the plants covered or inside. They're not going to be hurt yet, but right around 6 o'clock until 8 o'clock. That's the time frame. Breezy today. Showers this afternoon. Not like yesterday. We had exactly what we thought, where we would have downpour, sunshine, downpour, sunshine. For the good afternoon hours into the evening, today 1 or 2 pop-ups will be out there, not nearly as widespread. Next weather maker that could be across the board, we're always looking ahead, is Monday into Tuesday. Those are days to watch for the next chance for thunderstorms in the forecast. Cameras asleep, but we're not here. 48 degrees overcast in the Nashville area. Taking a look, we have a temperature of 47 in Murfreesboro and 39 in Crossville. I just mentioned frost and we're in the 40s. Well, sunrise is not until just before 7 o'clock. Cooler air going to move in, and that will continue to drop our temperatures throughout this morning. We're already a good 5 degrees cooler in Crossville and 6 degrees cooler in McMinnville. We're going to look at future radar coming up in a few minutes, find the one area that could actually be seeing some flurries before the sun rises. I'll have to break down here for you this morning.
Steer clear traffic this morning. Let's take a good look at what we're dealing with out there at I-40 at Stewart's Ferry Pike. This is where we were having some overnight construction overnight. It would seem that all that has been cleared this morning. All of the barrels have been picked up, and we are moving along just fine out there. So no big problems in either direction. Of course, we'll continue to watch things as we're just getting started with Steer clear traffic live and local with you through 9 o'clock this morning. Well, new this morning, Metro detectives say they have arrested one of Metro Police most wanted. 24-year-old Audrey Newsome was arrested at a Buchanan Street home last night. He is now facing several domestic violence charges. He's accused of shooting his girlfriend while she was holding their baby, then last month pistol whooping that same woman. He's accused also of 8 counts of burglary. He's being held on more than $450,000 bond. Well, coming up, the man charged in the shooting death of a Belmont University student had his very first day in court. We're going to tell you what's next in that case. And
Arriving in Brentwood at 4:15 on Wednesday.
Providing you the information needed to prepare and stay safe. Fox 17 News, your Code Red station. Alerts, empowers, protects.
4:05 is the time, and the man charged with killing a Belmont University freshman, Julian Ludwig, made his very first court appearance on yesterday. Now, police say that Shaquille Taylor fired the shot that killed Ludwig as she walked in a park near the Belmont University campus. Taylor was charged with a violent crime 6 months before the shooting happened, but was set free after he was found incompetent to stand trial. Taylor appeared in court by video. He was in the Metro jail when this whole thing happened. He is now being charged with murder as well as tampering with evidence in the case. A new competency hearing is scheduled for May the 1st. At least 9 people are dead and more than 1,000 others are hurt. This is after a powerful earthquake hit Taiwan, and we're getting brand new images into our newsroom this morning. Take a look at this. See that building back there? The building seems like it is on the verge of collapse. It is leaning. Rescuers say they're working to find many people who may be trapped underneath collapsed buildings. The U.S. Geological Survey puts the earthquake at around a 7.4 magnitude. It hit during the local morning rush hour and has been followed very strongly by lots of aftershocks. The White House says it is watching the situation very closely.
We certainly pray for all those who are affected, and we are standing by. The United States is standing by on the ready for any necessary assistance.
Taiwan's National Fire Agency says that an estimated 70 workers were trapped at 2 rock quarries when the roads to reach them were damaged by some of the falling rocks. Early this morning, helicopters began airlifting some of those workers to safety.
4:10 our time, coming back home, taking a look at a forecast that has been ever changing over the last 3 days. We're waking up right now to not much happening. Yesterday we started the same way. We even had some sunshine yesterday morning, and then just like that, little heat for the afternoon. Now when I say heating, I don't mean we were back in the 70s and 80s, but we got about a good 20-degree temperature swing that brought us that rain. And we could see 1 or 2 more showers a little bit later today, but a beautiful start to the day and just a little breezy. We're going to notice the wind here almost a little bit more than yesterday. So out the door this morning, I would just say be a little cautious driving around. You might have a slick spot here when it comes to all that rain we had yesterday. Nothing coming down this morning I'm concerned about, but wind gusts could knock you around a touch, right around 25 miles per hour during the morning drive. Taking a look at top of the radar, this is the area I'm watching right here. Ooh, little pop-up. Well, temperatures are going to drop. Right now we have a couple little sprinkles out toward the Cumberland Plateau. These could become light little flurries by the time we go 6 to 7 o'clock this morning. Let's find out here on Future Track for you. This is the 4 a.m. hour, not much happening, but by 5 and 6, taking a look, blues and pinks mean there could be a few flurries. Then in toward the afternoon, really light green specks compared to yesterday, far more dry hours and not quite as heavy when that rainfall's coming down.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get to I-65 and I-24. They are on the north side. Traffic out there moving along really nicely. No big problems in either direction there. We will continue to follow things out there on the roads and let you know if any new accidents pop up. But as of the last few minutes, we've been doing really nicely out there with no big problems in either direction. Well, coming up, the last member of an infamous motorcycle gang has now been sentenced. We're going to tell you about the history of violence they committed in the Clarksville area. And a nationwide fight over whether or not
Romeo and Juliet, April 20th and 21st at T-Pack, featuring action-packed fight scenes, lush period costumes, and live music by the Nashville Symphony. Tickets on sale now at NashvilleBallet.com.
I'm Blair Durham. If you're in a wreck with a tractor trailer or a company vehicle, you need to know this. They are not waiting to investigate. Don't let them tell your story. I can help. Call us at 615-242-9000.
4:14 is the time. A live look there over downtown Nashville, Tennessee. Looking very nice as you get out the door this morning. Greg Bobus will be along with your cooling forecast. When is spring going to get started? Well, we had some spring showers earlier this week, but Greg's going to give us all the details coming up here in the next few minutes. First, let's talk about Operation Crime and Justice, as the last of 18 members of a Clarksville motorcycle gang will spend more than 10 years in federal prison. Now, the gang is calling themselves the Clarksville Mongols. Prosecutors connected them to murders back in 2015 and 2017, and members were convicted of kidnapping, as well as large-scale drug trafficking and money laundering. Now, the murder victims include a young mother who was shot to death and a man who was severely beaten before the member of the gang stabbed him. The 18 members face a range of sentences from 7 years to 40 years behind bars. Well, Metro Police say they have arrested a woman who drove away from the police while her young children were in the back seat and not buckled in. Kenozia Broyles is now being charged with breaking into the Impossible Kick store. This happened in Green Hills at the mall last October. They say she stole $45,000 worth of shoes. Police say she also avoided a traffic stop on Tuesday and drove away while officers had to put down spike strips just to stop her car. Officers say her 2 children were in the back seat. They were a 2-month-old daughter in a car seat but not fully buckled in, and her 2-year-old son also no car seat, not buckled in at all. In the high cost of homelessness, a local non-for-profit Open Table joins the national leaders to try and fight to determine whether or not it is legal to arrest people for sleeping on public land. Now, this comes almost 2 years after the state of Tennessee made it illegal to camp on public property. The issue is being fought on the federal level now. On April the 22nd, the United States Supreme Court will be hearing arguments. Supporters feel like it could boost city efforts to clean up homeless encampments, while opponents argue that the law doesn't actually help people.
We saw how this worked out in Hermitage, allowing people to live on public land with no consequences and no rules. It doesn't work. People find the loopholes. It destroys communities. It destroys families, not just housed, but also the unhoused.
Arresting someone, or finding someone or citing someone might get them off your street corner or out of your backyard for, a day or a few days, but then they're going to be right back outside in the same position they were in, but will actually be worse off.
Now, Fox 17 News reached out to the district attorney's office to see exactly how many people have ever been charged for illegally camping under the Tennessee law. They said they haven't had any cases like that so far. Well, let's talk about the weather. Will you need a jacket or a coat or maybe short sleeves today? It's April in Tennessee, after all. You can use all of those things.
I mean, just keep them all in the back seat at this point, because there were points yesterday in a half-hour drive from Nashville to Franklin. It was sunny, then windy, then rainy, then sunny, then I saw grapple. That's 30 minutes. The look on my face just driving around, we knew it was coming yesterday, but still, that is this time of the year where you definitely want to know what's in the wardrobe. I would say go with anything long sleeves and long pants, because we're only going to be in the low 50s and we'll be breezy. Grab an umbrella in case, but also have the sunglasses next to you because there will be peaks of sun like yesterday as well. Windshield wipers will be doing their work on and off today, but not nearly as much as yesterday. Showers few and far between. Getting out the door this morning to nothing really out there other than some areas of patchy frost that might be on your lawn by the time we get to 6, 7, and 8 o'clock. So if you have sensitive plants you didn't cover last night or bring in, you still have a chance. We're not that cold just yet. Temperatures will continue to drop, though, getting closer to the 7 a.m. area and getting ourselves into the 30s for an hour or two leading into 9 o'clock. And you got a flight here. BNA forecast here 9 a.m. and then noon all the way to 3 o'clock. Temperatures will begin to climb again. 43 at 9, 48 degrees at noon, 51 at 3 p.m. Weather not a big deal here and definitely not as many showers, and they won't be as heavy for the ones that do pop up. What does the airport big board look like right now? Well, 48 degrees, and we have 17 flight delays and 2 cancellations, not due to our weather, but a lot of snow has come down in the Midwest and far northeast as well. If you're flying in those 2 areas, people are coming into town for a long weekend. I would watch their flight times. Coming up in a few minutes here, next check of your Code Red forecast in about 7 minutes. We'll look at the upcoming weekend, give you a look at your 7-day forecast, and talk about flurry potential. Yeah, that's possible by the time we're done with this morning.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get you the very latest happening. This is going to be I-40 at Fester's Lane, just east of downtown. Traffic out there moving along really nicely. No other big problems in either direction. And, you know, you couldn't do better. You cannot do better right now out there on the roads. We're going to continue to follow things, let you know whatever we do find. We will find things later on this morning for sure. Steer clear traffic live and local with you through 9 o'clock this morning. Well, President Joe Biden is expected to have a call with the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu today to express his anger over the deadly Israeli airstrike that killed 7 World Central Kitchen workers in Gaza. Now, they were all killed in an Israeli airstrike on Monday night. They were out distributing food at the time. There were 3 vehicles that were targeted, but Israel's military chief says it was a misidentification. The World Central Kitchen's founder called it a direct attack, calling their movements coordinated with the military, and at least one of the vehicles had a charity's logo on the roof of the car. The U.S. says that the incident shows the dire need for Israel to do more. We'll continue to follow that story. Switching gears in a big way, let's go to baseball season. The Nashville Sounds are getting rolling through their first games over at First Tennessee Park. Fox 17 News photojournalist Madison Spraker giving us a look there at the park. The Nashville Sounds back in action coming up tonight at 6:35 as the Sounds continue their homestand against the St. Paul Saints. Last night, the Sounds fell to the Saints 6-5. That was the second of their series against the Saints. That's after winning game 1, despite that weather delay. You may remember that. Something you should know tonight, the first 1,000 fans can get a schedule cling. Sponsored by us right here at Fox 17. You can stick it on your refrigerator to show all the games coming up this season. And tomorrow night, Fox 17 News has our Fireworks Friday, plus our own morning anchor, Erica Glover, will be throwing out the first pitch of the game. Well, coming up, a group of women is now suing the state of Tennessee over part of the abortion law. They say that is very unclear.
And which can cause dehydration and may worsen kidney problems.
I can do diabetes differently with Mounjaro.
Ask your doctor about once weekly Mounjaro.
4:24 is the time, and happening today at the Metro Courthouse. The Tennessee District Court will be hearing arguments in Blackman versus the state of Tennessee, as some are arguing that the law is unclear when it comes to dangerous pregnancy complications. Now, the Center for Reproductive Rights has filed a lawsuit for 7 women and 2 doctors. The group says that the medical emergency exemptions in the abortion ban are unclear. The women say that the law puts them in danger from severe pregnancy complications. And the doctors say they were unable to act in an emergency in fear of being prosecuted for providing abortions. Now, the center is requesting a temporary block on Tennessee's abortion ban in cases of dangerous pregnancy complications. The state of Tennessee wants the lawsuit dismissed. Arguments in this case will begin at 9 o'clock this morning. Coming up tonight in Smashville, the Nashville Predators will try to smash cancer as they also try to defeat the St. Louis Blues. It is Hockey Fights Cancer Night there at Bridgestone Arena. The Preds will be raising money through donations and special merchandise purchases that will benefit the Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital over at Vanderbilt. Now, last season, the Predators raised over $280,000 for the program. The Preds are 6 points ahead of the Blues in conference rankings, so they can really come close to clinching a playoff spot with a win tonight. Puck will drop at 7 o'clock.
426, and boy, we had a week here when it comes to severe weather. Yesterday's rain on and off, and now we're dealing with some frosty conditions this morning. Here's the weekend. Look forward to it, enjoy it. Great for outdoor plans. The mornings won't be quite as cold as yesterday morning, this morning, and tomorrow, but they'll still be a little bit crisp here to kick off each day. But look at the afternoons, warmer. 63 degrees on Saturday, 71 on Sunday. Now you're going to see this 20% chance here. Don't let it make you cancel plans. Just know that there's a chance we could see some rain on Sunday, but that's going to be very late in the day, leading into a bigger weather maker on Monday into Tuesday. How do you follow along? Well, hopefully you had the Code Red Weather app 2 days ago. If you didn't, and there was a warning in your area, you didn't get the warning to your phone from the app. It's very helpful. Also, like yesterday, I was constantly on, just goes, okay, where's the next shower? Where's the next shower? Because they moved in so frequently. You get the radar, too, all the time. You can also follow along anywhere on social media with all of us here. We love to hear from you. We love your questions, and we love to just make sure, you know, we're all getting in the conversation together, especially on days when weather's a big focal point.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get you to I-40 at Fester's Lane east of downtown. Looking pretty good over there as you make your drive down from the east side. No big problems so far out there this morning. If something does pop up, we'll be sure to get you up to date with steer clear traffic as we're live and local with you through 9 o'clock this morning. One more sign to show you. That's 24 here at Old Hickory Boulevard. This is in the Whites Creek area. Doing really nice out there in that area as well. That drive down from Clarksville has been slow the last couple of days. Right now, though, we're doing fine, making your drive down from Whites Creek, Jolton, Pleasant View, and beyond. Well, coming up, a group of people who blocked their way into a reproductive health clinic over abortions have now been convicted. We're going to tell you the sentences they could end up serving.
Cheers. Common side effects include sneezing, cough, and throat and nose irritation.
Relying only on drops? Not me. My own real tears are my relief.
Ask your eye doctor about Tearvia.
Coming up now on Fox 17 News this morning, the search for Sebastian Rogers continues right now in Sumner County. Law enforcement will be back out there, and we are hearing from neighbors coming up in just minutes. Plus, Metro Schools wants to put some limits on public comments at their school board meetings. We're going to tell you why some parents are pushing back.
Waking up with cooling temperatures here this morning. Who could see some frost? Who could see some flurries before we even reach 9 a.m.? That's coming up in your COVID forecast.
All right, Greg, thank you so much, and thank you for joining us here on Fox 17 News this morning. I'm Justin McFarland. It is a Thursday morning. Well, Fox 17 News wants to give an update this morning as 4 people who blocked a reproductive health service facility in Mount Juliet could spend up to 6 months in prison. Now, a federal judge has found them guilty of violation of the Freedom to Access to the Clinic's Entrance Act on Tuesday. Eva Eld, Paul Place, and James and Eva Zackstrom were blocking the entrance to the Mount Juliet Clinic back in March of 2021. Evidence presented at trial proved that the 4 physically blocked the main clinic door for at least 2 hours. Each are now facing a maximum of 6 months in prison, 5 years of supervised release, and fines of up to $10,000. We'll let you know what the judge decides. Well, agencies from across Middle Tennessee are expected to work together again today as they continue the search for the missing Sumner County teenager, Sebastian Rogers. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar joins us live out there from Sumner County in the area where that search has been happening to tell us exactly what they're working to find out this time.
Good morning, Justin. If you saw people searching in your yards yesterday and you live in Sumner County, you might be seeing them again today. We have confirmation from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office that there will be another massive search underway today for Sebastian Rogers, and they might be starting right here behind me at the Shackle Island Volunteer Fire and Rescue. Yesterday, we saw loads of cars before they took off to search for clues and to go over anything they might have missed. The TBI announcing that they are joining law enforcement search efforts. Down the road in the neighborhoods on the right side of Long Hollow Pike, we saw dozens of people searching for hours in hopes of finding new clues on Rogers' disappearance. It's been more than a month and still no trace of him. Crews took to the streets and were even in people's yards, but they're not the only ones searching. Neighbors say they've seen regular people walking through the area. One neighbor tells us he's had enough.
Just probably more suspicious, besides the increased traffic, which has both been professional police, various units, fire, search, and everybody else, but then there's been another great increase in the traffic from just random vehicles.
We're working to find out what time the multiple agencies will be searching for Sebastian Rogers, along with how much ground they expect to cover. Reporting live in Hendersonville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Thank you, Karen. And crisis in the classroom this morning. A proposal by the Metro School Board would put more limits on public comments. Now, right now, if you want to speak at a school board meeting, you have to register online, and comments are limited to 3 minutes per person. Now, the school board is proposing limiting the comments to only issues that are actually on the agenda, and it would cap the total time at 30 minutes, so no more than a maximum of 10 speakers in a meeting. Keep in mind, Metro Schools has more than 86,000 students.
Yes, people can contact their school board member by email or phone, and that may work for some things. But there's stories that need to be told in a public forum and heard by the whole board.
Now, the former Metro school teacher you just heard from there, Tom Surface, is among those who are encouraging the board to reject more limits on public comment. He's a member of NOAA. It's a local coalition to try to amplify the voices of ordinary people. NOAA says that the 3-minute rule reduced public input by 70% last year alone. So we want to know what you think about this. Should Metro Schools limit public comments to only items that are on the agenda? I know other boards across the mid-state have done the same thing. Right now, on your on the poll that we put up, 75% of you have said no, another 25% of you have said yes. If you want to participate, you can scan that QR code right there on the side of the screen. You could also go to our X page. You can find us at Fox Nashville and weigh in there. Let's get to Greg. Look at your forecast this morning.
Yeah, here we are, 4:35, and just like yesterday morning, temperatures continue to fall. Morning temperatures will eventually drop to right near the upper 30s here in the next 2 to 3 hours, and that means there could be some frost, especially in our higher elevations. So if you've already done some planting, or you have plants that are out that you can even just take inside, the potted plants, you've still got a couple hours. We're still in the 40s on the right side of your screen, but temperatures until we get an hour or two past sunrise will keep dropping a couple clicks each hour. Breezy, a few more showers, not like yesterday. We're not going to have the heavy on and off downpours. Now they're going to be far more hit and miss and a little bit lighter when it comes to the rain we're going to see. Breezy though, wind gusts up near 25 miles per hour. We're just working for the weekend right now. Once we get there, things do straighten themselves out and get a little more seasonable. Temperatures though, we're not the only ones. It's all about perspective sometimes. We're not the only ones that are in the 40s this morning. All the way down to the Gulf Coast, they're seeing 40s to wake up to. In many areas that are down to our south will drop into the upper 30s as well. So this is not just is everyone else better than we are? Nope. Many of us are in the same boat. School day forecast. First bell, 43 degrees. After school, 52. Any after school events or sports? We'll take a look at that forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get to the very latest happening here on I-40 at Dallas and Pike, very close to the airport. You can see there traffic moving along very nicely. No big problems in either direction. Of course, if something does pop up, we will let you know with Steer clear traffic as we're live and local with you through 9 o'clock this morning. An alert this morning as police need your help finding a missing teenager from Murfreesboro. This is 17-year-old Tyree Elijah Graves. His mother says he ran away from home on Monday. Now, he was last seen in the Las Casas Pike area. Let's show you exactly where that is here on our board here when we talk about Las Casas Pike. Here it is right up here. So this is where he was last seen in that area there. That would be the street very close to MTSU, which of course is right here in the middle of your screen. So Tyree was wearing a orange shirt with writing, blue gym shorts, as well as house slippers when he left. If you know where he is, you're asked to contact your local police department. But coming up, former President Trump asked for a delay in the hush money criminal trial. We're going to tell you why. A judge says he will not be granting that request. And differences over the opinion.
Smart, think smart, talk smart, get smart. You are smart, smarty pants.
You got to unleash the power.
Woo!
Weeknights at 5 on Fox 17.
.40 is the time. The judge presiding over Donald Trump's upcoming criminal trial in New York has refused to delay it. The former president's legal team filed a motion to delay his hush money case until the Supreme Court rules on presidential immunity. But the judge denied that motion, saying that Trump's lawyers should have filed it months ago. The trial is related to payments made to the adult film star Stormy Daniels during a 2016 presidential election. They're still scheduled to begin coming up here on April the 15th. The judge has stated that Trump's attorney can object to materials they think are tied to presidential acts while they were in the middle of the court proceedings. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee gave an update last night on his controversial priority legislation to expand the state's school voucher program. It was reviewed by both chambers.
Tennesseans want that. We've seen that in polling and data across the state. There's a broad public acceptance for the ability for parents to have more choice in where their kids go to school. Parents are the best decider for where their kids go and what they learn.
But so far, the school boards in Montgomery, Williamson, Wilson County as well have all signed resolutions opposing the governor's bill for universal school choice. We'll let you know what those in the House and Senate have to say about it. In the meantime, let's get to Greg Bovis. He's got a look at your Thursday forecast.
Waking up here so far in the 40s. We'll drop a couple of clicks here in the next few hours. And also watching radar with the tiniest of little sprinkles out toward the Cumberland Plateau. With dropping temperature, those tiniest little sprinkles could turn into the possibility of a little flurry. Taking a look, I'm not kidding, you might see a few snowflakes flying here between 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock. 4 a.m. getting us into those morning hours real hard, but look real close. Some blue and some pink does move in, so we can't rule it out. It's not going to stick, but that's going to be a focal point to watch out for this morning. This afternoon, a few very light gray-green spots here, meaning lighter rainfall than yesterday. We had the heavy downpours mixed in with the sun on and off. Today, it will be lighter rain showers, few and far between, and a little bit of sun, but breezy. Wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour and temperatures only in the 50s. I mentioned after school sports. What are we looking at? Well, we're talking about temperatures here going throughout the evening, taking us out onto all of our ball fields, no matter what kind of sport you got going on. 51 degrees at 5 o'clock, down to 45 and drying out by 9.
Steer clear traffic for you as you get out the door this morning. Let's get you set. Happening here at I-65 and I-24 at the junction there, just north of downtown. As you can see, traffic moving along without issue. We are doing really nice out there so far this morning. If there is something that gets in your way, and there will be, we got you covered with Steer Clear Traffic live and local with you as we ride with you through 9. Well, coming up, police want you to be on the lookout for a woman they say was shoplifting from a Target store in Franklin. We'll tell you what she stole. And a Tennessee teacher being honored for her big impact in the lives of students. The
Ageless Skin Perfector Essence, where skincare meets makeup, burst and blend for bare skin filter effect. That is all you.
The new Skin Perfector Essence from CoverGirl.
4:45 is the time. In Operation Crime and Justice, Franklin police need your help finding a woman accused of stealing things from a Target store. Police say this woman right here that you may see in the picture on your screen was last seen at the Cool Springs Galleria Boulevard Target. This happened about a week and a half ago. They say she stole a coffee maker and a remote-controlled helicopter. They say the value of the items she stole is around $700. Now, officers say the woman placed those items in her cart and left the store without paying for them. If you know who she is, you're asked to contact the Franklin Police Department. Where bird flu is now continuing to affect a growing number of cattle herds in the United States. This is coming from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention in the wake of a second human case now being reported. Now, the CDC says while there is no major threat to humans, the agency wants people to get tested. They're asking anyone who has been exposed or has symptoms to get tested for this. A person in Texas who tested positive last week worked on a farm and had direct contact with a dairy cow. Doctors say that the virus strain was the same strain found in sick cows and birds. The virus can be found in milk, but doctors say there's no threat to humans, given that most milk is pasteurized. Well, Apple says that its services are back up after a temporary outage that you may have noticed yesterday. The company says that its App Store and streaming services, as well as some of its Apple apps, stopped working for many users across the globe. Apple reports that the outage lasted for about an hour yesterday, and more than 7,000 users reported those outages to them. Now, on the App Store, Apple TV, Apple Plus, and Apple Music were some of the things that were affected. But again, all of them back online and operating this morning. A Tennessee teacher making the difference in the lives of children for more than 30 years takes home the top national honor for her work. It was all cheers at the gymnasium there at the Rogersville City School in Northeast Tennessee yesterday, as students and faculty learned that Missy Testerman was awarded the National Teacher of the Year award. But if you ask her students, it's really no surprise why this particular teacher was chosen.
Miss Testerman she taught me how to write a paragraph, and that's really important in life. And she let us have the funnest topics and just encouraged us to write more.
Ms. Testerman has taught me to just be kind for no reason at all. Just do for others what you would do for yourself.
Like, she helped me a lot in reading and math and all that. Probably reading, like spelling new words and stuff, because I would always have trouble doing that in second grade. She's really kind to others, and every time I see her in the hallway, she always makes me smile all the time, and I really like that.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. Now, Ms. Testerman currently works with children from kindergarten through 8th grade, learning English as a second language in some of the more rural portions of the Appalachian country and the school community that she serves up there. Congratulations to her for that big, prestigious award. Well, let's get to Greg right now. Greg, we all have those teachers that we will never forget that helped us along the way. So happy to see this particular teacher getting an award there.
When a student can speak and just smile the whole time talking about a teacher, you know you got a good teacher on your hands. Forecast for us today, many more smiles than yesterday. And I'm going to tell you right now, we're 4 days out. We've been talking for weeks about the solar eclipse and how we are going to be able to view it from here. It won't be a total eclipse. We're going to be real close to it. If you don't have your glasses yet, there's still a chance to get them. A lot of local stores stores have them. You can buy them online. Just make sure we're protecting our eyes. You have to wear these glasses. I know you're thinking, and many people in the past over all the years have been piece of cardboard, light piece of film on it. How does this work? It works so much better than a regular pair of glasses. Do not replace them with regular sunglasses. You can't do it. Do not use Eclipse glasses over a camera either. So say you're going to be that person that has your phone, puts the glasses in front of it, and then looks through the viewfinder. It just makes the rays stronger going into your eyes. It amplifies it. So do not do that. What you want to do is make sure kids have a game plan that they're wearing them. So when you're looking up, make sure they're doing the same thing with the glasses on. And pets don't need glasses. They're not, well, they're educated to not look into the sun. We'll just leave it like that. They already know not to do that. 53 degrees, your temperature. Later on this afternoon, right side of your screen, you're in the 40s. We will drop into the 30s. Then tonight, tomorrow night, and also Saturday night will be in the 30s as well. This morning, we're monitoring for any snow flurries, believe it or not, snowflakes out toward the Cumberland Plateau and some areas of some patchy frost the next couple of mornings. The weekend afternoon temperatures finally get back to around what we're supposed to be, 60s to near 70 degrees. The next big weather maker is going to come Monday into Tuesday, and the chance for some thunderstorms here across Middle Tennessee.
Steer clear traffic at 451. Quick look outside to the very latest happening here at I-24 at Old Hickory Boulevard. This is coming down from the White Creek area. You can see their traffic moving along very nicely. No big problems in either direction there. We will take a closer look at some of the other areas of town coming up in a few. But right now, drive times are green across the region from Mount Juliet to Murfreesboro to Franklin. Everybody looking good as you get out and about this morning. Well, Fox 17 News is helping you enjoy the eclipse coming up on Monday. Check out fox17.com for our special 30-minute solar eclipse event. It's going to be happening from 1:45 to 2:15 that afternoon. Our Fox 17 chief meteorologist, Katie Morgan, will be in the path of totality, breaking down some really cool science facts. You don't want to miss it. Again, it's happening on our website, fox17.com, starting at 1:45 on Monday afternoon. Well, the NCAA Women's Final Four tickets are reselling for twice as much as the men's tickets. That's according to the Logitech website. The average price of a ticket to the women's semifinals was listed now $2,323. The average sale for the men's game is just above $1,000. Now, a spokesperson for the ticket company says that the higher women's price is partly because there are more tickets available for the men's game because it's being played in a larger venue. He also says that he believes that there's a lot of excitement around the Iowa superstar who you're looking at right here, Caitlin Clark, who will be playing there in the Final Four. Well, coming up, a new kind of hazard on the golf course, and it has teeth. We're going to show you another video of another alligator encounter. We're going to tell you more about it. Plus, a new study says that
That's why we're giving you a sneak peek into our best SpringFest offers. Get great deals on the products you need to start your new spring projects. Hurry in for early SpringFest deals.
.455 is the time. Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. That's a live look there over downtown Nashville, Tennessee. As you can see out there, we're doing just fine on the weather front. We had that stormy day a couple of days ago. Lately, though, it's been much cooler, that's for sure. Greg Bovis has got the latest on your upcoming forecast in the next few minutes. Before we get to that, I want to take you to Florida, okay? Just want to put that out there. Golfer in Florida finds an unusual guest pacing around the course. But then again, in Florida, is this really all that unusual? As I glance over at Erica Glover, who's lived in Florida, a 10-foot-long alligator was casually strolling across the green at the course there. This is at the golf course there. The video captured by a golfer showing the gator making its way from one pond to another. The man says that the alligator's appearance is a big sign that its alligator mating season is on the way. So this alligator was on the stroll, either looking for a potential mate or perhaps presenting themselves as, you know, hey, I'm here. Anybody looking? You know, I'm available. So, never know who's shopping around at the golf course.
And he's just thinking, you know, I'm taking my time. I was here first. You all built this thing where I'm supposed to be living. So here we go. Taking a look up golf forecast here back home. If you see one of those of our golf courses, we got a big old problem here. But what I will tell you is if you do have a tee time this morning into early afternoon, you're likely not going to have any rain. Might be cart path only, and you do have some wind to deal with. Check the wind before you tee off, or your ball might be going in a little different direction than you want it to. Tee time at 9 a.m., 43 degrees, 48 degrees at noon, 51 at 3 p.m. Forecast keeping it cool, and it will keep it breezy. So make sure we're layering up a little bit out there, because you know a lot of the golf courses are going to be a little more wide open than some other places might be. What's your weekend look like? 63 degrees on Saturday, 71 on Sunday. Plenty of sun both of those days. Sunday, very late in the day, though, does come with the chance we could see our first raindrops leading into next week. The next bigger weather maker is going to be as we take ourselves Monday into Tuesday, when we could see a few thunderstorms. We'll look at today and a new look at future track and talk about some morning frost in some areas that still could see some flurries before we get to the 9 o'clock hour. That's coming up as we go into our 5 o'clock hour.
Steer clear traffic at 4:58. Let's take a look outside. This is going to be I-65 at the I-24 junction, just north of downtown. We're moving along very nicely out there. No big problems in either direction there for you this morning. If something does pop up, and it will, we've got you covered with steer clear traffic. But as you come down from Goodlettsville, Hendersonville, Millersville into the Biggerville, and that would be Nashville, you're doing okay so far this morning. Well, your crazy work schedule could affect your health in life. Why do they always give us these stories? This is intentional. I feel somewhat attacked by these, okay? So the producer says she's got the schedule, so therefore she finds these stories interesting. So let's go. The new study suggests that working shifts outside of normal 9 to 5 could lead to poor sleep, as well as fatigue and depression down the line. Researchers use data from more than 7,000 people here in the United States using a basis of standard work schedule with a start time of 6 a.m. or later and ending by 6 p.m. The study found that people who took on a more volatile schedule outside these hours in their 20s, 30s, and 40s showed the poorest health by age 50. So heads up for those of you who work the outside schedules there. We all feel it, we do. All right, let's talk about NASA. They are revving up its most powerful new engine with a goal in mind to send astronauts to the moon and eventually to Mars. Now, NASA conducting its hot fire test yesterday down in Mississippi. Now, the test is part of a certification task for the Artemis 5 mission, which plans to send a mission into the moon's orbit and then 2 astronauts to the moon's surface. Now, NASA is aiming to reach the second phase of the Artemis mission coming up by 2025, sending a crew mission around the moon. Okay, that's the goal, is to get around the moon as they continue to do all that testing down there. Not just in Mississippi, by the way. Mississippi, Louisiana, Huntsville, Alabama, just down the road. Big center for these kinds of tests. Our 5 o'clock hour starts right now.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News this Thursday morning, the man convicted of hitting mid-state teenager Janae Edmondson with his car wants a new trial. Why his lawyer is arguing for this move.
Coming up, the search for Sebastian Rogers from Sumner County continues more than a month since he's been missing. I'll have the details next.
Cool and breezy leading us throughout this morning. A few areas could see some flurries as you're waking up. We'll work through that and take you through a calmer pattern towards your weekend and your forecast.
Thank you so much for waking up with us here on a Thursday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. Glad to be your live local news source through 9 a.m. We kick off our 5 o'clock hour here on your Thursday, April the 4th, with the top few stories you'll want to know about before you head out the door. We begin with this one. The head of the U.S. Small Business Administration is going to Baltimore today in the aftermath of that bridge collapse. They're basically trying to help those small businesses recover. Think about all of the shipping nightmares that have trickled down to these business owners. So they're going to meet with Baltimore's mayor and members of the Maryland Congressional District coming up later today.
And President Biden is expected to go ahead and have a phone conversation with Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that is set for today. This call comes 3 days after an Israeli airstrike killed 7 World Central Kitchen aid workers over in Gaza. White House officials say Biden will likely discuss the need for better safeguards for humanitarian workers.
Also this morning, the World Central Kitchen is calling for an independent investigation into the airstrike that killed 7 of their workers. That charity group is calling on Israel to preserve anything that might be related to that airstrike.
Back here in Middle Tennessee this Thursday morning, the man convicted of several charges after hitting a mid-state teenager with his car is asking for a retrial.
Yeah, the man you see behind us here is Daniel Riley. Riley found guilty of the person driving the car that hit Janae Edmondson, causing her to lose both of her legs. Janae Edmondson, in case you're not familiar with the story, a standout student athlete whose life is forever changed now. So Riley's lawyer is claiming that the court in the St. Louis area included evidence of past drug use, which they say didn't have to be included, and then biased the jury against Riley.
The lawyer is asking the court for a retrial or for Riley to be acquitted of his second-degree assault conviction. It's a story we'll continue following, of course, and if you want to read more about this, go to fox17.com and search Janae Edmondson. Right now, though, let's check in with our Code Red meteorologist. Happy Thursday, Greg.
Happy Thursday indeed. One day closer to the weekend, and each day getting a little bit better here compared to just about 48 hours ago. Looking out this morning, some patchy morning frost can't be ruled out between 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock. Temperatures continuing to fall. We're already breezy. You'll notice that all morning and all afternoon, and a couple of showers will sneak in here. It's not going to be raining like it was yesterday, where we see as many showers or as heavy as far as the rainfall goes. We had a lot of things that kind of happened, and we'll talk about those, but nothing that caused any code red weather yesterday. Our next bigger weather maker is going to be Monday into Tuesday. Keep that in mind. That's the next time we gear up for possible thunderstorms in our forecast. What we are just tracking here for you, the cooler temps right side of your screen. We're in the 40s. Most of us will be in the 30s by 7 o'clock, and a couple of flurries here. I'm watching the Cumberland Plateau. All eyes are on you this morning. You might have some flakes on the radar. We'll take a look at future track and your 7-day forecast coming up in the next check of your Code Red forecast.
Greg, thank you so much. 5:04 is the time, so we do want to do a quick check of your steer clear traffic update and take you near the airport. Here you go on your screen, not seeing any kind of issues. This is a live look at I-40 at Donaldson Pike. Again, this is near Nashville's International Airport, where it typically gets busy, but right now not seeing any kind of issues. We'll continue checking in on all of your steer clear traffic updates throughout 9 o'clock.
5:04 right now, and new this morning, investigators will be searching again for Sebastian Rogers, the missing 15-year-old with autism from Hendersonville. You know, here we are more than a month out from the night that his mother called police to say he disappeared from their home in the middle of the night.
Right now, though, Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar is joining us live from a search area with more on the efforts and, Karen, reaction from the community.
Good morning. We've seen volunteers search for Sebastian Rogers like the United Cajun Navy. We've even seen the public searching for him. But today's search will be by the professionals, according to Sumner County EMA Director Ken Widener. Behind me, somewhere in this parking lot at the Shackle Island Volunteer Fire and Rescue, it will be filled with multiple agencies, including TBI, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, and firefighters for day 2 of their massive search for Rogers. Yesterday, down the road in the neighborhoods on the right side of Long Hollow Pike, we saw dozens of people searching for hours in hopes of finding new clues on Rogers' disappearance. It's been more than a month and still no trace of him. Crews took to the streets and were in people's yards. One neighbor tells us that although he doesn't mind the professional searching, people doing their own search has been irritating for some.
I know of more of reports from people that live in other parts in the neighborhood, from the neighbors reporting to me that their people have been coming in almost daily, and they've had to report them to the sheriff's department.
About 10 minutes ago, we reached out to the Sumner County Sheriff's Office and are waiting to hear back on what time the search will be and where. Reporting live in Hendersonville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you. And you know, Rod was referencing a lot of these amateur online sleuths who are coming into the neighborhood, he said, in van loads sometimes.
And not helping with the investigation.
No, flying drones over people's houses, and they are not authorized or part of the official investigative team. So if you want to read more about that and the rest of our reporting on this story, just head to fox17.com and search the word Sebastian.
Well, just ahead, the man charged in the shooting death of a Belmont University student had his first day in the courtroom. We're going to explain what's next for this case.
Good morning. Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. The young lady you see here behind us is Jillian Ludwig. She died here in Nashville. Police say at the hands of a man who really should have never been on the streets. That man who is charged with killing the Belmont University freshman, making his first court appearance just yesterday.
So we have the video for you right here. Police say Shaquille Taylor fired the shot that killed Ludwig as she walked in a park right near Belmont's campus. Taylor was charged with a violent crime 6 months earlier, but was set free after he was found incompetent to stand trial. Taylor appeared in court over video from jail yesterday. He is charged with murder and tampering with evidence for this particular case. By the way, a new competency hearing is now scheduled for the 1st of May.
All right, we know this morning at least 9 people are confirmed dead, but more than 1,000 others injured and many missing after that earthquake hit Taiwan. Here we are more than 24 hours later, and rescuers are still working to find people. One of the wildest pieces of video that we have at our disposal is of the building that is still sitting lopsided in the middle of the downtown area here. We know that there are people who are still trapped in some of these buildings.
The U.S. Geological Survey putting the quake at 7.4 magnitude. It hit during the local morning rush hour and has been followed by strong aftershocks. The White House says they're closely monitoring this situation.
Closing in on 5/11, taking a look at your forecast and a lot of things to work through here before we get to the weekend, because the weekend, all eyes are going to be on it after what we had on Tuesday and Wednesday. We had the scattered showers and thunderstorms, the possible severe weather, and a few warnings that did track through on your Tuesday. And then yesterday was all the on and off heavy downpours. Then you'd look up and the sun comes out, and then another downpour. Today, not quite like that, and the weekend, not like that either. 63 degrees. Your temperature on Saturday, 71 on Sunday. Forecast looking pretty good for the weekend itself. And I mentioned this before, we got to reiterate again, we have not had a good day to get out and do some stuff here in the last 48, 72 hours. If you are doing anything outside today, going to be windy, especially for golfing. 43 degrees, temperature at 9 a.m., 48 degrees at noon, and 51 degrees at 3 p.m. The high today going to be right around 53 itself, middle of the afternoon. Coming up in the next check of the forecast, a new look at future track, and we'll take a look at the 7-day and move ahead to the next big weather maker coming our way next week.
All right, Greg, thank you. We were sitting outside watching baseball last night and had a little grapple mixed in with the rain showers. It was a cold night. I'm praying it's not as cold this afternoon. Here we are, steer clear traffic, looking good this morning, nothing to worry about. You've got the green light to get out and go over on I-40 at Fessler's Lane, east of downtown, which is where we're taking a live look right now, and no other problems right now in steer clear traffic.
Well, coming up, the last member of an infamous motorcycle gang has now been sentenced. We're talking about the history of violence they committed in the Clarksville area.
And Fox 17 News taking a look at the nationwide fight over whether people should be charged for sleeping on public property. It's got Tennessee advocates.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Eurostone.
Good morning. It's 5:14 right now. Thanks for waking up with us here on Fox 17 News this morning. We are glad to be your live local news source through 9 a.m. Here's a live look on Lower Broadway here to kick off your Thursday. Hey, if you're planning on heading downtown for any reason today, I would definitely take the jacket. It's going to be chilly. Greg's going to tell us in just a few minutes, though, when we might finally see a warm-up and the next chance for rain.
Right now, though, in Operation Crime and Justice, the last 18 members of a Clarksville motorcycle gang, they are now going to spend more than 10 years, a decade, in federal prison.
All right, so this gang, called the Clarksville Mongols, prosecutors connected this group to murders in 2015 and 2017. Members convicted of kidnapping, large-scale drug trafficking, and money laundering. The murder victims included a young mother shot to death and a man who was severely beaten before a member of the gang stabbed him. Again, this is all part of the charges and then the convictions. The 18 members of this gang face a range of sentences from 7 to 40 years behind bars.
Well, Metro Police say they arrested a woman who drove away from police while her young children were in the back seat and not buckled in. All right, this story right here is trending on Fox17.com. The name is Kalonzia Broyles, and she is now charged with breaking into the Impossible Kick store. It's a shoe store at Green Hills Mall last October.
Yeah, so accused of stealing some $45,000 worth of high-end tennis shoes. Police say this all came to a head this week, Tuesday, when they noticed her car in the Madison area. And when police tried to pull her over in a traffic stop Tuesday, she took off. Officers used their chopper to track her. Police got ahead of her, threw out the spike strips. She hit the spike strips and they catch up to her. Well, when they do, they find those two children, a 2-month-old in a car seat but not buckled in, and a 2-year-old son with no car seat and not buckled in as well. So kind of a couple of wild pieces to this story.
A big puzzle.
Yeah, one, you know, she was connected, police say, to stealing $45,000 worth of tennis shoes. And then when they find her.
Yeah, that's a lot of tennis shoes.
That's what they found, man.
And the high cost of homelessness. Local nonprofit Open Table is joining national leaders in a fight to determine whether or not it is legal to arrest people for sleeping on public land. We've covered this story in the past.
We have.
But now we're getting some more details.
Yeah, and it's just such a hot topic as we cover the high cost of homelessness. And it comes about 2 years after Tennessee made it illegal to camp on public property. Really controversial at the time a couple of years ago. Well, the issue is now being fought on the federal level. You see, on April 2nd, the U.S. Supreme Court heard arguments about this, supporters feeling like it could boost city efforts to clean up homelessness, right, by making it illegal, but opponents argue that the law doesn't actually help people.
We saw how this worked out in Hermitage, allowing people to live on public land with no consequences and no rules. It doesn't work. People find the loopholes. It destroys communities. It destroys families, not just housed, but also the unhoused.
Arresting someone, you know, or finding someone or citing someone might get them off your street corner or out of your backyard for, I don't know, a day or a few days, but then they're going to be right back outside in the same position they were in, but will actually be worse off.
Okay, so we're getting some new perspectives there. Fox 17 News, we also reached out to the district attorney's office to ask how many people have been charged for illegally camping under the Tennessee law. In response, they said they, quote, have not had any cases like this so far.
Interesting. All righty. 5:18 is the time right now. It's Thursday. I know a lot of you look at this day as the gateway to the weekend. You're kind of already thinking weekend plans, and we are too, because it's baseball season. Baseball's back, baby, and the Sounds are getting rolling with their third game at First Horizon Park tonight. We have our Fox 17 News photojournalist Madison Spraker giving us a live look from the entrance of First Horizon Park.
Tonight at 6:35, the Sounds continuing their homestand against the St. Paul Saints. Last night, though, the Sounds fell to the Saints 6-5 in the second game of the series. That's after winning a game 1, despite that weather delay that we talked about. Now, something you should know tonight, the first 1,000 fans are going to get some more Fox 17 News swag, so do keep that in mind. And of course, we'll have all the highlights on Friday. And don't forget, Friday, I'll be out there throwing the first pitch, so please, please, please wish me some luck out there.
You've got this.
I got it.
You can do it.
Maybe.
She's been practicing. How's the weather shaping up, Greg? Getting closer to the weekend.
Weather won't be an excuse to not have a good pitch.
Oh, thank you, Greg.
No, but it's also going to be great, though.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, you got to get one or the other.
No high winds to, impact the trajectory or anything like that.
We'll have some sunshine leading up to first pitch. It'll be a great night. Hopefully a big crowd, too. So,
y'all are making me nervous, so thanks.
But look at this.
You can do
this.
That's not home. Don't worry. You're not opening up your windows this morning and going, what is that? This is New Hampshire. They have they've had a whole different week than we have. Take a look. Right here is the current radar with the last 12 hours worth of snow getting up there in New England. I'm going to stop this and just put down the estimated last 24 hours worth of snowfall. We're talking upwards of a foot in places near Portland, Maine. We're talking close to a foot and at least 6 inches worth in New Hampshire and Vermont, and upstate New York seeing more than 4 inches worth of snow. So back home, we had the severe weather. Well, the cold air moved in for them before they got the remnants of what we had, and now they're dealing with the snowfall. Back home, not much happening yet. I've been watching the plateau. A couple little light sprinkles have popped up here, and as we continue to cool throughout this morning, you may work yourself into a couple of flying snowflakes here this morning, later on this afternoon. Similar setup to yesterday when it comes into afternoon hours, a possible pop-up shower. They will not be as heavy. You can see you can barely even pick them out here on Future Track with the grayish greens. That indicates very light rainfall here and much more sporadic than yesterday. Radar coverage area won't be as expansive by any means, but also not as much sunshine peeking between. So a mainly cloudy day is ahead of us, and then that is it. The sunshine returns for tomorrow, leading into the weekend. Lunchtime forecast today, not the best patio day. We're breezy. We have that chance for a passing shower, and temperatures only hover in the 40s. We don't get back into the low 50s, which is where we'll stop until the middle of the afternoon.
Steer clear traffic as you get out the door this morning. Let's get to I-24 and I-65 there on the north side. We just had a disabled vehicle in that area clear out of the way a short time ago, so glad to see we're doing much better up there. Not that that vehicle was causing big delays to begin with, but just something that could have been in your way up there on that north side, so we're out of there up there. This is I-40 at Dallas and Pike out near the airport. If you've got an early morning flight this morning, no problems. Haven't seen the backup onto the interstate in a really long time. So apparently those short-term parking measures they're having at the airport have certainly worked over the last few months. Just haven't seen the traffic volume out there for the last few months.
Justin, thank you. We go to Wilson County this morning where school leaders
take control of your Crohn's with Skyrizi.
Control is everything to me.
Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
5:25 is the time, and new this morning, the Wilson County School Board voted to keep a book. It was called I Never by Laura Harper. It is on the bookshelves right now. The book is about a teenage girl who was having her very first experience with dating and, yes, with sex. Now, some want to remove the book because they say it's way too explicit. However, the effort to remove that book failed by just one vote after lots of debate.
If we remove every book that's challenged, we're not going to have a library, because eventually every book about witchcraft is going to be removed. When we talk about Harry Potter, and every book, like was discussed recently, about running away is going to be removed. And we're a culture of offended individuals, and everybody is offended by something. And I don't know, maybe that's the goal, that we close down all libraries.
Trust me, she's not the only one speaking at that school board meeting. We're going to hear from a lot more members coming up in our 6, 7, and 8 o'clock hours. By the way, school records show that the book I Never has only been checked out a total of 5 times in 5 years in 2 high schools there in Wilson County.
5:25, looking at a forecast of temperatures that are falling. We're in the 40s right now, right side of your screen. And after all the rain we've had the last 2 days, you might wake up tomorrow and Saturday and go, whoa, my lawn needs to be mowed, and we need to do it right now. Good news is tomorrow and Saturday you can. Today I would not go for it. Very breezy outside, still a lot of wet grass from the last 2 days, and also a few more isolated showers will be out there on the map. But if you really want to get out there, I would say get the yard work done for your Friday so you can enjoy Saturday and Sunday. Everything looking really nice for the weekend. You can always track along with us, just like yesterday. Would have been very useful if you didn't have it, to have the Fox 17 Code Red weather app. You just scan that QR code right there, go to the Apple Store, Google Play Store, and that gets you lined up with the radar and our hour-by-hour temperatures that we put in there for you every day. Today, a few isolated showers, 53 degrees. Next couple of nights, keeping it cold. We're talking about frost tonight, tomorrow night as well. And we'll talk about who has the best chance for that and why you need to try to cover up some plants in those areas. And the best way to do that is we go into our 5:30 half hour.
Steer clear traffic this morning. Let's get you out and about onto the latest happening on the interstates. I-65 at Trinity Lane, our first check-in at this very busy stretch of road north of town. As you can see there, traffic moving along really nicely. No big problems in either direction out here, which is exactly what we like to see for this time of the morning. Let's take a look over on the east side. I-40 at Fessler's Lane, just east of downtown. Also looking smooth here. No major tie-ups or accidents that could block your way. If that changes, and it will, we've got you covered with Steer Clear Traffic, live and local with you through 9. Well, is it stifling debate or avoiding headaches? Coming up, the latest proposal to change Metro School Board meetings.
Coming up.
Weeknights at 5 on Fox 17.
Tracking storms, what you'll need to prepare now for the week ahead. Today at 5:30. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Good morning, 5:30 right now on Fox 17 News This Morning. The search for Sebastian Rogers will pick back up this morning. We've got the latest from Sumner County as officials reignite their search.
And a group of protesters over in Mount Juliet found guilty. The charges they face after blocking a reproductive health facility's doors.
Waking up this morning calm right now, but temperatures are dropping and it is a bit it is a bit breezy out there, near freezing conditions possible by the end of the week. Which mornings to cover your plants before you go to bed?
A bit breezy? No, it's chilly. It's cold. Thank you so much for waking up with us here on a Thursday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. I mean, I guess it depends on how you like it, right? It's all about perspective. Hey, let's get to our top stories this half hour. Agencies across Middle Tennessee are expected to come back together again this morning as they look for any clues as to what happened to 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers, the autistic teenager who seemingly vanished from his home in the middle of the night.
Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar is joining us live from the area where they're searching, joining there together to tell us what you've seen so far and what can we expect later this morning into Thursday afternoon.
Well, that's what we're working to find out right now. We do have confirmation from Sumner County EMA Director Ken Weiner that there will be another massive search underway today for Sebastian Rogers. And just right now, a few moments ago, we saw an emergency management agency truck roll in. You can't see it because it just went through that garage behind me. And we are expecting that dozens of those trucks and other agencies like firefighters at TBI, along with other law enforcement across Middle Tennessee, to be filling this parking lot behind me here at the Shackle Island Volunteer Fire and Rescue. And down this road yesterday, we saw dozens of people alongside Long Hollow Pike and the adjacent neighborhoods searching for clues in Sebastian Rogers' disappearance. Crews took to the streets and even to people's yards. As I mentioned, TBI will be assisting law enforcement's efforts in helping to find Sebastian Rogers. It's been more than a month and there's still no trace of him, but they're not the only ones searching. Neighbors say they've seen regular people walking through the area. One neighbor tells us he's had enough.
Just probably more suspicious, besides the increased traffic, which has both been professional police, various units, fire, search, and everybody else, but then there's been another great increase in the traffic from just random vehicles.
We've reached out to the Sumner County Sheriff's Office to find out what time the search will be. As I mentioned, we just saw an emergency management agency truck roll in, but we want the exact confirmation of the time and the place that they will be searching today. Yesterday, they searched Long Hollow Pike. Today, they might be covering more ground in a different area. When we have that information, we'll bring it to you. Reporting live in Hendersonville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
5:03 time, taking a look at your forecast here, working us through a morning where temperatures are still dropping. Nashville area, I don't see us getting into the 30s as easily as areas just outside of downtown. Even just a few miles away, we have the potential to drop into the 30s, and that means that a few of our plants might have a couple of issues between about 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock this morning. Right now, we're still trying to hold on to some 40s, but look at how close we're getting to the 30s in surrounding areas. So keep your eyes on the right side of your screen. You got a couple of hours, if you didn't do this last night, to cover your plants this morning, tomorrow morning, and Saturday morning. When I say by cover them, do not put plastic directly on your plants. If you can't take them inside, then make sure you're putting some sort of cloth over them. You can put plastic over the cloth, but do not have any plastic directly touching the leaves or any flowers that are out there, because it actually ends up hurting your vegetation. Get all the coverings off as soon as the temperatures are back into the 40s here by about 9 o'clock, and you should be set and good to go for the rest of the day, and do the same thing tomorrow and on Saturday.
Steer clear traffic as you get out the door this morning. Let's get you over to I-40 at Donaldson Pike. As you can see there, traffic moving along really nicely out there so far this morning. No big hang-ups or delays in either direction, which is exactly what we want to see for this time of the morning. Let's get you to the local drive times out there. Mount Juliet coming in at a beautiful 26 minutes in from Wilson County, 49 minutes in from Murfreesboro, 25 minutes coming in from Franklin. We'll continue to follow things out there on the roads.
Crisis in the classroom now. A proposal by the Nashville Metro School Board to put limits on public comments is now sparking debate. Right now, as it stands, if you want to speak at a Metro School Board meeting, you have to register online, and then your comments are limited to 3 minutes per person. Now, the board is proposing limiting those comments to only issues that are on the agenda. And they're considering capping the total comment time period to 30 minutes. So if you get 3 minutes, you got a maximum of 10 people who are allowed to speak in a district that represents more than 86,000 students.
Yes, people can contact their school board member by email or phone, and that may work for some things. But there's stories that need to be told in a public forum and heard by the whole board.
So you can understand the frustration on the part of some members of the community feeling like voices are being quieted. That's a former teacher who is among those people who are encouraging the board to reject putting any more limits on public comments or concerns. He is a member of NOAA, which is a local coalition trying to amplify the voices of ordinary people who have concerns in their school district. NOAA, that group, says the 3-minute rule reduced public input, by the way, by 70% already in the last year. Now, we want to know what you think about this topic. Do you think that Metro schools should limit public comments to only items that are on the agenda? And right now, an overwhelming 75% of you say no. If you feel strongly about issues like this, I would encourage you to head to twitter.com. You can also scan the QR code right there with your smartphone camera, and it'll take you right to this poll where you can vote and then sound off and leave us a comment.
After the break, police looking for answers. We're going to explain why these 2 teenagers that we're showing you video of on your screen are wanted for questioning. And this hour.
Watch Crisis in the Classroom only on Fox 17 News. Get severe weather alerts. Download the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather app.
Good morning. Happy Thursday. Welcome into Fox 17 News this morning. Time is 5:40. Developing right now, Metro Police are asking for help finding 2 teenagers who they say are wanted for questioning in a deadly East Nashville shooting.
Hey, go ahead and take a look at this video right here, okay? Here you go. Police say these 2 teenagers were seen on a business security camera minutes after the March 4th shooting over on Lamont Drive, so maybe you recognize them. 16-year-old Henry Taylor was killed. They're asking that if you know something, say something. Maybe you recognize the teenagers. If so, you were asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number is at the bottom of your screen, 615-742-7463.
Closing in on 541 here this morning, taking a look at your forecast. Out the door to clearing here compared to yesterday. Not much happening on radar yet. A pop-up shower this afternoon. Can't be ruled out, but what to wear getting out the door, not much of a difference compared to yesterday. Long sleeves of some sort, probably a good idea. Pants, good idea. Decent shoes, because if you get in a couple of those little puddles later on, today is not necessarily one of those days to show off in the spring attire. And grab that before you go. Grab the umbrella. You might need it. You won't need it as often as yesterday, but there will be periods of time throughout today where there will be a few pop-up showers, much lighter on the radar. 41 degrees at 6 a.m. getting you out the door, 40 degrees at 7. You go, why is it going down then going back up? We don't hit our coldest part of the morning until just before sunrise and right around sunrise, and that's near 7 a.m. for us. Coming up in the next check of your forecast, we're going to look at places that are causing flight delays at PNA because of snow, and we'll talk about what happened yesterday. There was things flying out of the sky. You might not know exactly what it was. The word grapple. We'll explain it in a few minutes.
Steer clear traffic for you. Let's get out to I-24 Waldron Road. As you make that drive in from the Rutherford County area, you can see there traffic moving along really nicely so far this morning. Things are going to bunch up. It's just a matter of time. Things are going to bunch up. This drive is going to slow down. No question about it this morning. But right now we're doing fine. No major crashes in either direction. Same can be said at 24 OHB coming down from the Whites Creek area. Good morning, Whites Creek and Jolton. Nice drive so far.
Justin, thank you. Coming up, Tennessee is one of the most expensive states to live in, according to some experts. So how much do you need to earn to be comfortable in the volunteer state?
All right, interesting question. And the Nashville Sounds back again tonight at First.
And subsequently suffered injuries. You may be entitled to compensation. Call Bart Durham Injury Law at 615-242-9000 for a free case evaluation.
5:45 is the time. Right now we're catching up on the Nashville Sounds. They have a lot of excitement this week. Okay, they're playing their third home game though tonight.
So many folks excited that baseball season is back. We have our Fox 17 photojournalist Madison Spraker live over at First Horizon Park this morning. Been a rainy start to the season here at home for the Sounds. Didn't let the rain, ruin everything last night, but the Sounds did lose the game. Ooh. Just by one run. Final 5-6. They're going to play the Saints again tonight, and then Friday night, Fox 17 News anchor who sits beside me here every morning, Erica, is going to throw out the first pitch. We've been swapping stories, been talking about, best tips to just not pull a Paul Jones. And for those of you who are wondering, what does that mean?
Oh, boy.
Paul Jones was a previous sports director here. And you'd think the sports guy would be able to go out.
Have it in the bag.
Nail the first pitch there. Paul had what the internet would claim to be one of the worst first pitches ever. So I want to reassure you.
Yeah, I'm like,
it's not going to be as bad as Paul.
Stay positive.
There's the confidence.
Yes.
There's a confidence. It'll never be that bad. And if you want to see, if you do want to see the epically bad pitch, just go to YouTube. Search Paul Jones first pitch. You'll find it.
Well, let's talk about our economy now. There is a new study by Bankrate claiming Americans, listen to this, need to earn 6 figures in order to afford a home in nearly half of U.S. states. What?
Yeah, well, and Tennessee is right on the cusp of that list with our state threshold of affordability when it comes to salaries being at least $90,000 a year. And we have some financial experts now weighing in on how we got here.
Fox News anchor Megan O'Halloran shares this report.
The American dream is downsizing with inflation and high interest rates. In Tennessee, the median sales price for a home tips almost $500,000, with February 2024 data coming in at $478,000. However, economists say middle America is having a hard time keeping up because it hasn't seen a pay raise to adequately support these sky-high prices. Things like groceries, gas, and everyday bills are putting comfortable living out of reach.
The thing that's gone up the most in price has actually been mortgage payments, because mortgage payments now are, it used to be the average mortgage payment a few years ago was about $1,800 a month. Now it's over $3,000 a month. So this is like a tax on the middle class, and it's a tax on the American dream.
According to this Massachusetts Institute of Technology living wage calculator, in Nashville, an average household income of 2 working adults and 2 children would need to be around $105,986. And while salaries are stagnant, it's pricing middle-income families out of the market. Local realtor Erica Curry explains it this way.
So we have an inventory crunch, which is propping up these home prices, and we have buyers that can't afford to buy them. However, more buyers can afford to buy them than what we have sellers on the market. And that's where we are with this problem.
She says the only solution in sight is waiting for the Fed to lower interest rates. And if you're in a pinch and find your dream home, create a plan to buy now and refinance later to take advantage of lower interest rates and not wait on the market.
Economist Steve Moore says right now 4% current interest rates are not ideal and the market is striving for 2%.
You can find a 4% mortgage rate right now. Congratulations to you, by the way. It is 5:49. Let's take a look at weather around the nation this morning. Storms moving in over the northeast. We are looking at central Massachusetts right now. The shot coming to us from WHDH up there. Got snow on the ground. I mean, they're used to that stuff. No big deal. But Greg, we were talking last night about the flurries that you and the rest of the weather team here are predicting.
Yeah.
Just light flurries, nothing that's going to accumulate.
And
We saw a little bit of that last night.
Well, what we saw yesterday was a whole bag of things. We saw the rain first, then we had sun, then more rain, then hail, then rain, then grapple. Pause. And then more rain and then more sun. It was on and off the entire day. And you might go, what was that was coming down? Because it wasn't hail, it was grapple. What the difference is, that's always very small, usually less than 0.2 of an inch in diameter. So really, really small. And they're super cooled water droplets where it's above 32 degrees at the surface of just the earth right there, but well up into the atmosphere. It's super cool. So these little rain droplets, they go up and they meet little snowflakes that are up there and they go, well, hello, you want to go take a trip? They connect to them, they come down and freeze, and you get these tiny little pebbles that usually melt fairly quickly, whereas hail, those are in the really big thunderstorms that we get, and that's when you can get the larger size balls of ice coming out of the sky. Jen mentioned to me a little while ago it was also very cold out at the baseball field yesterday evening, and this evening, same temperature scheme going on. 51 degrees at 5 p.m., 50 at 7, 45 at 9 o'clock. So any after-school sports, it will be breezy. Temperatures will be in the upper 40s to near 50. Can't discount the possibility of an isolated shower or two right around 5 o'clock, but most of that time frame trending far drier than yesterday.
Steer clear traffic this morning, I-65 at Trinity Lane there on the north side. As you can see, traffic moving along really nicely there. No big problems, at least not yet. But things will happen a little bit later in the morning. Right now, we're looking okay. Hendersonville at 26 minutes. Murfreesboro coming down at just under an hour. All these times will go up as the morning goes on.
Justin, thank you. Now to a Fox 17 News update. We do want to let you know about a case that has been trending over on Fox17.com involving 4 people who blocked a reproductive health services center over in Mount Juliet that could now spend up to 6 months in prison. A federal judge finding them guilty of violation of the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act on Tuesday. Eva Edel, Paul Place, James, and Eva Zastro blocking the entrance to the Mount Juliet Clinic back in March of 2021. Well, evidence presented at trial proved that the 4 physically blocked the main clinic door for more than 2 hours. Each now faces a maximum of 6 months in prison, 5 years of supervised release, and fines of up to $10,000.
Time right now is 5:51. Good morning to you on this Thursday. No winner in last night's Powerball drawing. The jackpot that's now on the table as we get into the weekend.
And talk about riding in style.
Oh,
oh my goodness, how you can make a ride
meant to straighten out your steering for the best price in town.
Visit budgetbrakes.com. Brakes starting at just $100. Alignment starting at $59.99.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. It is now 5:54, so inching closer to 6 o'clock. Good morning to you. Live look into downtown Nashville, where we got a lot going on right now. Preds are going to be back in action here at home. We've got the Nashville Sounds playing as well in a home stretch that goes into the weekend. We'll also let you know everything else that's popping around town here as we are your live local news source through 9 a.m.
Right now, though, 2 children over in Putnam County are home safe this morning, all thanks to the Tennessee Highway Patrol. And we're going to show you photos, explain this story.
All right, THP in Cookeville sharing this picture just yesterday, saying that Trooper Cothran and his canine, Draco, helped find the missing children who had wandered off into the woods behind their house. The 2 kids able to be found, but get this, they were up a half-mile steep cliff. So thankfully, these officers found them when they did and got them home safely. THP Nashville sharing the Cookeville picture, adding that Trooper Cothran and Draco were both trained to be prepared for situations like this.
Well, who wants to be a billionaire?
Me.
Me. Have you checked your lottery ticket yet? Well, listen, there was no jackpot winner when it comes to the Powerball drawing last night, but you still have a chance. In case you missed it, though, here are the winning numbers. Do you want to read it out to you? It is 11, 38, 41, 62, and 65. The Powerball is 15. Did you win?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, I didn't win because I didn't buy a ticket.
The jackpot now goes up to an estimated $1.23 billion.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, the next drawing, by the way, is Saturday night. We're also taking some photos. Yesterday, I had the pleasure of going out to Fairview Elementary School. Look at the screen right here and getting to read to first graders over there. So just want to say good morning and thank you to the teachers, the librarians, and the students over at Fairview Elementary School. And listen, they had a lot of wonderful questions, but really, I am going to ask Greg to head over to Fairview because they asked me a lot of weather questions.
They said, where's Greg?
Where's Greg?
And
Where's
why
Katie?
are clouds gray?
They asked me, why are clouds gray?
All
They asked
great
me,
questions.
They asked me about the code red weather alerts that we had and what do we do when we have those kind of alerts? How long do we stay here? I mean, these kids, they had some good questions. All right, Greg, so there's what you're tasked with now.
Fairview.
That is no problem to me. I love school visits. I would love to, and those are actually, you were right, very good questions. And sometimes the answers can be really fun to learn that kind of stuff. So yeah, find me. I'd love to come out. Take a look here. 53 degrees, your temperature today. Later on this afternoon, breezy. Couple of showers. Not like yesterday where we had the really heavy downpours mixed with our sun. Today it's going to be a little more on the hit and miss variety. A little more cloud cover though. And you're going to notice the wind. Absolutely notice the wind this morning and this afternoon. Not the kind of wind that's going to knock a garbage can down the road, but it is the kind where if you have the attempt to not try to go for the good looking hair day, you're going to be happier because by the time you reach lunchtime, it's not going to be looking how it was when you left the door early in the morning. 53 degrees today, but 63 degrees for your Saturday, 71 on Sunday. Plenty of sunshine for the weekend. As far as Sunday goes, there is that 20% chance for a pop-up storm. That's mainly, as of right now, as a precaution because a weather maker moves in on Monday. So very, very late in the day on Sunday, there could be our first little inklings of that incoming system for Monday and Tuesday, but still great for outdoor plans leading into your weekend.
Steer clear traffic for you as you get out the door. Let's get to I-65 at Trinity Lane there on the north side. Traffic there moving very well, even though things are starting to bunch up and slow down. Coming down from that north side, we're also watching the bit of diversity happening. Look at this. Now, I don't know what this is about, but there's no way in the world these folks aren't all together. You see this? 1, 2, 3 busloads of something that's getting onto the interstate here. I don't know where they're going, but good luck and God bless to them. Safe travels as they get out there on the roads this morning. So you never know what you're going to see out there on the roads here. Look at them. There's one. Here comes another one and another one. You know, they're a group of something going somewhere. That's kind of the story of traffic.
I do feel like there are a ton of school districts right now taking their kids to D.C. Maybe that's what they're doing.
Maybe they need to travel in this vehicle right here.
Going
the
to
big
Peanut
peanut.
Mobile. Planters hiring some people to become, and we quote here, peanutters.
What?
If you're chosen for the position, you get to escort Mr. Peanut across the country.
Well, what a job. This could be from June of this year to June of next year. The role, though, does require participants to represent the Planters brand. You have to give back to local communities and entertain and engage with the fans. The fans?
Funny. The fans. You guys have fans showing up to these? I mean, I'm sure people like to take pictures.
It makes me think about the Wienermobile.
Exactly.
There you go.
Same thoughts. All right, so if you are interested, you're going to have to submit a resume, cover letter, and a short video describing your interest in the position. You got to do it through Planters. The deadline to apply is April 14th.
I got to be honest, I am interested.
You're going to be a peanut brand ambassador.
I'll pull up to the
station.
station.
Are you going to be a peanut influencer?
Who knows? Stay with us. 6 o'clock hour starting right now.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Coming up, I'll have reaction from a neighbor after multiple agencies conducted a massive search for Sebastian Rogers right here in Sumner County.
A story that made headlines here in the mid-state. The man you see right here on your screen being escorted into court says he wants a retrial. This is the man who was convicted of hitting a mid-state student athlete, causing her to lose both of her legs. Why he claims his first trial was not just.
And we are cool and breezy this morning, looking ahead to a couple of showers today and planning out the upcoming weekend when we finally get our cold mornings out of here and go back to normal.
And I-24 at Old Hickory Boulevard from Whites Creek looking pretty good coming down from Montgomery County and beyond. We're going to take a look at other drive times around the area.
Thank you so much for starting your Fox 17 News this morning. Thursday with us here right now. It is 6:01. I'm Jennifer Waddell.
And I'm Erica Glover. We're going to get to our first story. It has been now more than 1 month, and there is still no trace of 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. And after scaling back their search efforts, crews are now recanvassing certain areas, searching for Rogers. In large groups out there.
Yeah, so let's send out our coverage this morning to Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar. She is live in that search area. This is the Shackle Island community of Hendersonville with updates on the efforts for today and more reaction from the community.
Good morning. Today's search will be by the professionals. That's according to the Sumner County EMA Director Ken Widener. And right here behind me at the Shackle Island Volunteer Fire and Rescue, we might be seeing the parking lot filled with multiple agencies, including TBI, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, and firefighters for day 2 of their massive search for Rogers. Yesterday, down the road in the neighborhoods on the right side of Long Hollow Pike, we saw dozens of people searching for hours in hopes of finding new clues on Rogers' disappearance. Crews took to the streets and were even in people's yards. This comes after the public has been doing searches of their own, even volunteers like the United Cajun Navy. The volunteers have reported threats and stopped their search for Rogers. And the Uvalde Foundation for Kids, who was helping, said their threats were not credible. They pulled their searchers and are now helping another search in Alaska. One neighbor tells us that although he doesn't mind the professional searching, people doing their own search and all this commotion surrounding Sebastian Rogers' disappearance in the way that things have been conducted, including by the United Cajun Navy, has been irritating for some.
Feel kind of uncomfortable about doing that, not about having the people there, but about the whole atmosphere of the neighborhood with the loss of a missing child.
We've reached out to the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. I've been checking my email multiple times to see if they have responded to us yet to some of our questions. Those questions are, what time will this search be? How much ground will they cover? And where exactly will they be searching? Along with, have they found any leads from yesterday? Again, we haven't heard from them, but when we do, we will bring that information to you. Reporting live in Hendersonville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you very much. Also new this morning, the man convicted in several charges after hitting a mid-state teenage student athlete during a car crash. He and his lawyers have now filed for a retrial.
Daniel Riley, the man right behind us, was behind the wheel when he hit Janae Edmondson, severely injuring her and ultimately causing her to lose both of her legs.
Wow. Now Riley's lawyer is claiming that the court included evidence of past drug use that they claim didn't have to be included because he was not on trial for drug use, and that biased the jury against Riley. The lawyer is asking the court for a retrial or for Riley to be acquitted of his second-degree assault conviction. We know so many of you are following along with this story, especially as it pertains to Janae Edmondson, the young lady who lost both of her legs. So we'll be keeping you updated on the developments from the courtroom.
And now to another Fox 17 News update this Thursday morning. We now know the state of Tennessee is pursuing life in prison without parole for the man accused of killing his pregnant girlfriend.
This is Blaze Taylor, who appeared before a Davidson County judge just yesterday. He got arrested in Utah last month on 2 counts of first-degree murder, accused of poisoning his girlfriend, Jade Benning, and her unborn baby, causing their deaths last spring. The DA's office now prosecuting Taylor, looking for life in prison for their deaths. Taylor, by the way, worked with the Tennessee Titans as a scout from 2019 to 2023. His bond hearing set for April 15th.
Our time right now is 6:05. Taking a look at your forecast. What is new this morning as we're waking up? Each day has been so different. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and now even your Thursday. Yeah, possible frost in some areas, not necessarily right in the heart of downtown, but you get even a few miles away, and then even a few counties away, and temperatures get colder and colder. We'll be in the 30s each morning until we get to Sunday morning, so keep that in mind. Breezy, a few more showers today, but not nearly as many of them on the radar, and the rain won't be as heavy when they're coming down, but still an umbrella just in case kind of a day. Sunny and warmer for our weekend. And when I say warmer, I don't mean 80s, but no more of these low 50s like today. Right side of your screen, we're only in the 30s and 40s as we speak. Temperatures continue to drop. We'll be at 53 this afternoon. There are your few other nights. Tomorrow night, being the last one, where I'm worried about frost. Saturday into Sunday, we begin to get a little bit better nighttime, and even during the afternoon. Start making your weekend plans. After this week, I think we all deserve a little bit of a break for a couple of days.
All right, everyone, steer clear traffic as you get out the door this morning. Let's get you out the door in the Antioch area. This is I-24 at Hickory Hollow Parkway. We've made it, everybody. We're now over an hour coming in from Murfreesboro. Just checked the time a short time ago. It is now around 67 minutes to get in from Murfreesboro. That's our first time that we've checked. We've been over an hour there this morning, so heads up. You may want to consider things like Murfreesboro Pike to help you steer clear of some of the congestion. It's a good time to take Murfreesboro Pike because it's too early for school zones to be out there. So if you're going to take Murfreesboro Pike to get around some of this, you should do so now.
Justin, thank you. After the break, Wilson County school leaders spend time debating the fate of another book. We're going to tell you why some board members say the disagreement over many of the books will never truly be solved.
And we want to say thank you so much for waking up with us right here on Fox 17 News this morning. We hope your Thursday is off to a great start. If you have plans to hit Lower Broadway later today,
or plus get up to 36 months free financing. Don't miss it. Sale ends Sunday. We make it happen.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Eurostone.
Coming up on 6:10 here on your Thursday morning and new this morning, the Wilson County School Board has now voted to keep a book called I Never by Laura Harper on the school library shelves. The book is about a teenage girl who is having her first experience with dating and, yes, with sex. Now, some want to remove the book because they say it is way too explicit for high schoolers to have. However, the effort to remove that book failed by just one vote, and there was plenty of debate to be heard.
Just because one person calls something porn doesn't make it porn. And that is something for the courts to decide. So that disagreement in this room, in this community, in this society isn't going to be decided until somebody takes it to court and it's challenged in court.
I just think that to say that values, morals, and ethics don't come into play when we're talking about books is not a fair statement.
Now, keep in mind, the school board says that they have records that show that the book I Never has only been checked out a total of 5 times in 5 years across 2 high schools there in the county.
6:11 our time, taking a look at your forecast and getting moving and starting your day here. What's the weather going to mean for us? Just trying to get back out on the road here after 2 days of some rainfall. Well, cool and breezy for sure. Temperatures always on the right side of your screen, even during those commercial breaks all the way until 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. And you can see that you're starting off in the 30s and 40s. This afternoon will be in the 50s, but windy also with that cool start. So that breeze could knock you around here just a touch driving around with wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour. And you may catch a slick spot. I'm not talking about ice, but just lingering ponds of some water from the last 2 days with those deluges that we kept getting on and off yesterday and that very heavy rainfall on Tuesday. Just monitor that as you're heading out the door here and take a look at top of the radar. I've been monitoring this all morning. Still nothing popping up. About a 2-hour window left. We could see enough of a lift here in the atmosphere to give us a possible flurry in the Cumberland Plateau, but I'm just not buying into it at this point right now. Our time is dwindling to see any snowflakes flying this morning. As we're picking up nothing, Future Track still wants to bring it in, but that chance really is becoming minimal at best. The afternoon, however, though, an isolated shower or two will track through the area. Have the umbrella handy. That rain will not be as heavy as what we had yesterday, and you will not see as many showers on the radar either.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning at 6:12. Let's take a quick look here at I-24 at Hickory Hollow Parkway, making that drive through the Antioch area. We told you before, times have been a little slow coming through here as of the last few moments, as we are now up over an hour. And we're going to show you that here on our traffic maps here. And times 28 minutes coming in from Mount Juliet right now, 67 minutes in from Murfreesboro, 29 minutes in coming in from Hendersonville. Well, the solar eclipse is just a few days away. Coming up, we're going to tell you what you need to know about keeping your eyes safe from those harmful UV rays. And the Nashville Sounds are back at First Horizon Park coming up tonight.
Budget breaks. Breaks starting at just $100.
Relaxing. This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Southeast Financial Credit Union.
Good morning, 6:14, and hope your day is off to a fantastic start. We are live at First Horizon Park, just reminding you that we have baseball back in Nashville. The Sounds currently in the middle of their home streak. They're playing their third game tonight. Our Fox 17 photojournalist Madison Spraker out there live right now, giving us a view from the front entrance. The Sounds lost last night, but again, going to be back at it tonight, and then we'll have Fox 17 fireworks Friday night. Erica will be out there tomorrow throwing out the first pitch. International headlines here on your Thursday morning. We want to take you to Taiwan, where we understand here in the next few hours, rescue crews and other workers will start to demolish a partially collapsed building in Hualien, Taiwan, after yesterday's deadly quake. This is some of the new video coming in. You can see what looks to be an office building where the lights look like they're about to pop out of the ceilings. The building that we're talking about there had been leaning after the earthquake. This is it right here. I was telling our crew this morning, it reminds me of that museum in Gatlinburg, the Ripley's Museum, where you see everything leaning. It is just wild. So they're going to start tearing that down today. Taiwan, of course, hit by that, by most estimates, a 7.4 magnitude earthquake that we know this morning has now killed at least 10 people. The death toll has gone up by 1 since we first came on the air. Hundreds of others are injured and many are still missing, considered trapped in all of this debris. This is the strongest earthquake to hit Taiwan in 25 years. According to local officials, the full extent of the damage to both, property, to business, and of course the lives lost, not going to be known for quite some time to the full extent.
Let's talk about next week. Don't worry, there is still time to go ahead and get ready for Monday's solar eclipse. And so many space enthusiasts are saying that you don't want to miss out Monday because the next one is not going to happen again in the U.S. until 2024. So we're talking about the path of totality. If you're planning on watching, though, maybe you're going to certain states, you're traveling for this, you're going to want to get your hands on those special eclipse glasses that we've been talking about. Fox News' Ted Linder taking a closer look at how to safely watch without permanently damaging your eyes.
The countdown to one of nature's most fascinating light shows is on, as Americans gear up to watch next week's solar eclipse on April 8th. The phenomenon will take place in the afternoon when the moon passes between the Earth and the sun, blocking out the sun's rays and casting its shadow on the Earth. But while many people will get to see a partial eclipse as it crosses through North America, only a handful of folks will experience the full darkening effects based on its path.
Only a single narrow path of people from really Texas up to Maine will be able to see this event called totality.
But no matter where your seat is for the event, doctors say you need proper protection for your eyes.
If you look at the sun directly with your unaided eye, you can damage the eye permanently and lose vision.
So what are your options?
Solar eclipse glasses are 100,000 times darker than your regular sunglasses. Regular sunglasses absolutely cannot be used.
These spectacles work by blocking invisible light rays from injuring your eyes.
These are in ultraviolet and infrared rays that can actually damage that retina.
For an indirect way to safely see the eclipse, NASA recommends making a pinhole projector.
You could just use a sheet of paper, pinhole, and have the sun behind you, and then it'll project through the hole, and then you'll have shapes of the sun on the ground as the moon traverses.
Ted Linder, Fox News.
Ted, thank you. And hey, quick correction here. The next one won't happen again in the U.S. until 2044. Okay, 2044, so get ready. Fox 17 News, we're also helping you to enjoy the eclipse. Monday, go to fox17.com and all of our social media platforms. We are going to be putting on a 30-minute solar eclipse special from 1:45 p.m. to 2:15 p.m. Chief Meteorologist Katie Morgan is going to be in the path of totality in Kentucky. I was texting her this morning because I know she's a working mom. She's up with the twins, trying to find out exactly where she's going to be in Kentucky to confirm that. So once I do find out, I'll let y'all know.
Okay, we're thinking she's going to head to Paducah, right?
Paducah, but we just want to make sure that's the most updated location.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we are not in the path of totality.
Unfortunately. We're
And-
close, but not going to be the thing where we're going to get the whole darkness for those 5 minutes or whatever. Yeah.
Plus, the weather plays a big role in how we view this. Is it going to be cloudy? Will we have rain? Could we have snow?
About 2 weeks ago, we had our first little hints that I gave you where I thought that there'd be a weather maker that moves in either Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday.
Yeah.
And now that's the time frame of Sunday into Monday and Tuesday locally. So we got our eyes glued to it, and even some of the areas that are in totality could be covered with clouds. One more bit of information when it comes to eclipse glasses, though, that wasn't covered in that segment just now: pet safety. You don't have to do anything. Pets naturally just know, oh, don't look at the sun, that hurts. So you don't need glasses for your doggos if they're out there with you. They're not going to be looking up trying to check it out. However, some animals do react to an eclipse, even a partial eclipse like this. You're going to hear the birds chirping and they're going to stop because they don't know what's going on. They don't have the clock, they don't have the watch on their hands. So listen for that if you are outside watching. Our dogs of the day is Zulu and Tango, sent in by Monty and Linda. Hope you guys are watching this morning. Love the photo and the attention. Those are some good trained dogs right there. Taking a look at the dog walking forecast. A little easier to get outside today than yesterday. We had that incessant rain on and off throughout the morning and afternoon. Today, a pop-up shower or two is possible. Temperature outlook is nearly identical to yesterday. We're starting off cool. We'll aim for the low 50s, but many more dry hours today than yesterday. And how do you send your dog of the day in? You go to Facebook. You go to my page right there, meteorologist Greg Bobus. You find that pinned post at the top, and your dog will be right here on Fox 17 News this morning. We feature one every day. 53 degrees today, 62 tomorrow. I will talk about that upcoming weather maker next half hour. I'll get a brand new look at it for you. We'll take you Sunday into Monday and what it could mean for the eclipse.
Steer clear traffic. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with here at I-24 Hickory Hollow Parkway. A bit of a slow go as you make that drive in from the south and east side of town. Drive time there already well over an hour, but that's not the only thing we're watching. We've picked up something new over the last few moments. We are dealing with a very slow go coming down from the Kentucky-Tennessee state line. So this is going to be Franklin, Kentucky, okay? Coming down I-65, we've got a crash right around mile marker 117. That's only about 3 to 4 miles after you cross the state line coming in from Kentucky. It is shutting down one lane, causing a massive backup. We understand emergency personnel are on the scene right now dealing with this. We don't have a live picture of it, but it's 93 minutes to get down. You may want to take Highway 31 right next door. It's the best way to steer clear.
Still to come here on Fox 17 News this morning at 6:22, the first court appearance for the man who was charged with killing a Belmont University freshman.
And thank you for waking up with us every single morning on Fox 17 News, where you're only
.com and your bugs will be gone before you know it.
U.S. Fast. Fox 17 News, Code Red Weather.
Your first line of defense when severe weather threatens.
6:25 is the time in Operation Crime and Justice. The man charged with killing a Belmont University freshman, Julian Lugwood, made his very first court appearance on yesterday.
Yeah, Julian's picture right here behind us. Police say the man responsible is Shaquille Taylor, and he showed up in video court from jail. He's accused of firing the shot that killed Ludwig as she was just walking in a park near the Belmont campus.
Now, Taylor has been charged with a violent crime just 6 months before the shooting took place, but he was set free after he was found incompetent to stand trial. He is now being charged with murder as well as tampering with evidence in this particular case. A new competency hearing is scheduled for May the 1st.
By the way, what happened to Jillian prompted Jillian's law.
Yes.
That is part of consideration here in Tennessee now. All right, let's get a look at your forecast. Greg was telling me as he stepped away just a moment ago, he said, Jen, he said, I know you were freezing last night at the baseball games. He said, so let's get into the after-school sports forecast. And I said, I am here for it. So let's walk you through here. If you've got sports outside this afternoon or this evening, here's how the weather is shaping up. It's going to be another chilly evening, especially if the wind is blowing where you are. 5 p.m., 51 degrees, and you see it drops off to 45 degrees by 9 o'clock tonight. So whether it's baseball, soccer, track, lacrosse, whatever you've got going on, it's going to be chilly. Pack a jacket, maybe an umbrella just in case there's a stray little pop-up shower here or there, but no major rain concerns for tonight. So that's the good news. Greg will join us again in just a few minutes to give us a more in-depth look at your forecast.
6:26 is the time. Let's check in with your steer clear traffic out there this morning. This is going to be I-65 at Trinity Lane coming down from the north side of town. This drive looks slow, but trust me, this is nothing compared to what some folks at the state line are experiencing right now. So let's go on up there. This is the drive coming in from Franklin, Kentucky, down into Nashville or down towards Portland and Orlando. 93 minutes. This is an hour and a half. There's a crash at mile marker 117 is where that crash is. Right there at exit 52 where you would jump off to go over to Portland. You can use Highway 31 as the best way to steer clear because this is going to take a little while to clean up. We're also following the crash coming out from Clarksville, even though this one is looking a lot better than it was a few moments ago. So perhaps it's in the clearing stages.
6:27 is your time. Silencing voices or just trying to avoid headaches. There is a proposal right now to change the way Metro Nashville school board meetings are held and how members of the public in the community could or maybe could not sound off. We'll take you to that debate in moments. Plus,
the search for Sebastian Rogers continues.
Play free games for a chance to win money. Play this month's featured game for a chance to win $100 or $1,000. Go to KFDM.com and you can win money.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
This morning on Fox 17 News, a group of protesters in Mount Juliet found guilty. The charges they face after blocking a reproductive health center's doors.
And this morning at 6:31, a live look at the sun coming up on the horizon. A beautiful shot from downtown Nashville. We're taking a look at the forecast, how it's going to play out here for your Thursday plus as we get into the weekend.
Steer clear traffic takes us to I-24 at Hickory Hollow Parkway. You can see the slow go coming in from the Antioch area. We'll have the very latest on your drive times that are going to be well over an hour.
Ooh, thank you, though, for waking up with us here on a busy Thursday morning on Fox 17 News. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. The traffic looks rough, but that's why we're here for you. We're going to make sure you get those good detours so you don't get stuck on your way to work or school. We'll have that here momentarily. Right now, though, we have agencies from across the mid-state expected to work together again this morning as they search for any clues as to what happened to Sebastian Rogers, the missing 15-year-old with autism from Sumner County.
Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar is joining us from areas where they're searching to tell us what they've been doing and what they're working to find out today.
If you live in Sumner County and you saw people searching in your yards yesterday, you might be seeing them again today. We have confirmation from the Sumner County EMA Director Ken Weiner that another massive search for Sebastian Rogers will be underway today, and they might be starting right here behind me at the Shackle Island Volunteer Fire and Rescue. Now, yesterday, down this road, Long Hollow Pike, we saw dozens of people in the adjacent neighborhoods searching for clues that could lead them closer to finding Rogers. Crews took to the streets and were even in people's yards, the TBI announcing that they are joining law enforcement's search efforts. It's been more than a month and still no trace of Rogers or any leads. But they're not the only ones searching. Neighbors say they've seen regular people walking through the area. One neighbor tells us he's had enough.
Just probably more suspicious, besides the increased traffic, which has both been professional police, various units, fire, search, and everybody else. But then there's been another great increase in the traffic from just random vehicles.
We've reached out to the Sumner County Sheriff's Office to find out what time the search will be and where. When we have that information, we will bring it to you. Reporting in Hendersonville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you very much. Meanwhile, the Uvalde Foundation for Kids tells Fox 17 News they are pulling their volunteers from the search for Sebastian Rogers and redirecting them to support a different search happening in Alaska. They tell us the Nashville patrol members will return to school patrols.
6:33 is the time. Doing a check-in now with our Code Red meteorologist. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning. Waking up here with the big three things to know, getting us into the weekend. And that's number one, patchy morning frost is possible today. We're getting closer and closer to the area where we could see a little bit of it developing here before 8 o'clock. And then tomorrow morning as well. Tomorrow morning even colder than this morning, believe it or not. Breezy, a few afternoon showers today. You're thinking, oh, we had those yesterday. Those were not just showers. We had some downpours yesterday, even some hail and some grapple. And if you go, grapple, what? We'll explain it here before we get to 7 o'clock. None of that today, just a few light Very intermittent rain showers, not as many on the radar today. Next weather maker, the big one we have to watch next, is going to be Monday into Tuesday. Monday is also eclipse day. Putting that math together, we will take a look at that track and that timeline for you to make sure we know what we're getting into day of the eclipse. But we're all clear, no code red weather, just keeping it breezy. Wind gusts will be up to 25 miles per hour. It is going to be breezy today and tomorrow. Only 53 degrees this afternoon. We're back up into the 60s and 70s for the weekend. And on the right side of your screen, your current temperatures, even during commercials, all the way through 9 o'clock.
All right, let's get to your very latest with steer clear traffic on I-24. This is at Hickory Hollow Parkway. Coming through the Antioch area, you can see for yourself how the traffic is flowing, and it's a slow go. Coming in from Rutherford County this morning, the drive is well over an hour at last check, about 71 minutes on that drive. So if you're coming in, you could try to use Murfreesboro Pike as a way to steer clear, but right now it's just going to be one of those pack your patience mornings. All right. As I take a swallow, let's take a look at this. This is going to be I-65 coming into town, southbound lanes from Franklin, Kentucky. A very slow go here, 93 minutes on the drive because of a crash happening right here at exit 117. You should make that drive down right here past Highway 52. That's the highway that'll take you over to Portland. You want to use Highway 31 while you still can before it starts to stack up. That's going to be your best way to steer clear.
Justin, appreciate you. Thank you very much. 6:35 right now. Crisis in the classroom. The Metro Nashville School Board wants to put more limits on public comments, and that is sparking debate right now as it stands. If you want to speak at a Metro Public Schools board meeting, you have to register online, and your comments are limited to 3 minutes per person. Well, now the school board is proposing limiting comments further to only issues that are on the agenda. And they would cap those comments at 30 minutes total. So a maximum of 10 speakers per meeting in a district that represents more than 86,000 students.
Yes, people can contact their school board member by email or phone, and that may work for some things. But there's stories that need to be told in a public forum and heard by the whole board.
All right, that's the perspective from former Metro teacher Tom Surface. He is among many people encouraging the board to reject more limits. He is a member of a group called NOAA. That's a local coalition that is trying to amplify the voices of ordinary people in settings like this. NOAA says that 3-minute rule reduced public input by 70% when it got implemented last year.
And we want to know what you think about this. Should Metro schools limit public comments to only items on the agenda? That's the question that we're asking over on our Fox Nashville X account. It's a live poll. You can sound off. As of right now, 76.0. So 76% of you all say no. You do not believe MNPS should limit public comment. Go ahead and let us know what you think by heading to our Fox Nashville X account and our Fox Nashville Facebook page.
Right now, police are looking for answers, and they're looking for 2 teenagers. You're going to see them walk through the video on your screen right now. We'll tell you why police want to talk with them.
And coming up on Fox 17 News this morning during our 7 o'clock.
And get it done. Call 800-800-4600.
Injured, hire the largest injury firm in the world. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Good morning and welcome back into Fox 17 News this morning. Time right now is 6:40. Developing right now, Metro Nashville police are asking for help finding 2 teenagers who are wanted for questioning after a deadly East Nashville shooting.
So take a look at what police are showing us. They say that this happened when 2 teenagers were seen on a business security camera just minutes after the March the 4th shooting that happened over on Lamont Drive. They say 16-year-old Henry Taylor was killed in this particular situation. Now, if you recognize any of these teenagers, you are asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number is 742-7463.
Here at home, we have been through tornado watches and warnings. We had flurries in some places last night. The weather across the country just wild right now. We're also taking a live look from the Northeast. We're in New Hampshire. Live look from WMUR, where you can see snow is blanketing the ground. They've cleared the streets there, which they do with ease in the Northeast. But Greg, is it out of the ordinary to get this much snow this time of year up there?
For them, not so much. I mean, they kind of call this a Thursday, even though we're in April, just because they're so far north, like, okay, here we go. Push it off the road. Let's get moving. However, it could mean impacts for us here back home, though.
Oh.
Think about the airport.
If you're traveling
trying to get to and from there. So we'll take a look at PNA and the flight times and the delays. But here is the radar picture up there in the northeast, and they're getting blanketed here. Last 12 hours, it has not moved much. The dark blue is indicating a lot of heavy snowfall. There are some areas that have seen upwards of a foot of snow. Now, the airports, the roadways, they're good at clearing them, but you got to fly through this. That does a lot of the times give us some delays. Let's take a look at our flight forecast for here. Our weather today, not going to be a problem at the airport. 44 degrees at 9 a.m., 49 at noon, 52 at 3 p.m. So all the delays that we see, the majority of them are going to be where you're going or where people coming from. 47 right now at the airport, 27 active delays and 2 cancellations already. Most of those are Midwest where they've had snow or up in the Northeast, and a couple from Florida. Please check your flight times before you head out. Now, our curious question, we're talking about the eclipse. The total eclipse going across a portion of the country. Here's my question. A total solar eclipse happens in the same exact location. So think Nashville. The same exact location roughly every how many years? 80 years, 150, 375, or 790 years? Exact same location? The answer coming up in the next Check Your Code Red forecast.
All right, everyone, let's get to your steer clear traffic as you get out and about this morning. Let's talk about what's going on east of town. We just picked up this crash and it's blocking off a couple of lanes. This is going to be I-40 at Spence Lane, making that drive in from east of downtown. You can see there emergency crews on the scene dealing with a crash that seems to have injuries. 2 lanes are blocked off as a result, and this is going to affect your drive time in a big way coming in from the east side. If you're coming in from Mount Juliet, from Hermitage, even from Antioch in this area, you may want to take some ways to steer clear. That includes Lebanon Pike, Elm Hill Pike. As you get out and about this morning, the drive back behind it is going to be a little bit rough. The drive in front of it, once you get past that accident, that's where this is. I-40 at Fessler's, doing a lot better.
The cost of living here in Tennessee is on the rise, like almost everywhere else. We'll tell you what you need to be earning per year, according to the experts, in order to be comfortable here in the volunteer state.
Plus, a teacher here in Tennessee
is ticking.
You need to send someone home.
Tonight at 7 on Fox 17.
Tracking storms, what you'll need to prepare now for the week ahead. Watch Fox 17 News at 9.
Good morning. Welcome into Fox 17 News this morning, 6:46. We have a Tennessee teacher making a difference in the lives of children for more than 30 years who is now taking home the top national honor for her work.
Bravo. It was all cheers in the gymnasium right here at Rogersville City High School in Northeast Tennessee. This was yesterday. Students and faculty learning Missy Testerman was awarded National Teacher of the Year. But if you ask her students, it's really no surprise why their teacher was chosen.
Miss Testerman she taught me how to write a paragraph. And that's really important in life. And she let us have the funnest topics and just encouraged us to write more.
Ms. Testerman has taught me to just be kind for no reason at all. Just do for others what you would do for yourself.
Like, she helped me a lot in reading and math and all that. Probably reading, like spelling new words and stuff, because I would always have trouble doing that in 2nd grade. She's really kind to others, and every time I see her in the hallway, she always makes me smile all the time, and I really like that.
Well, that is precious. By the way, Ms. Testerman currently works with English language learners from kindergarten through the 8th grade. Congratulations.
In our economy now, there is a new study by Bankrate claiming Americans need to earn 6 figures in order to form a home in nearly all of our states across the country.
All right, Tennessee kind of on the cusp here. So when it comes to home ownership, the threshold for affordability in Tennessee looks like about a $90,000 per year salary.
Fox News anchor, Fox 17 News anchor, I should say, Megan O'Halloran is sharing this report.
The American dream is downsizing with inflation and high interest rates. In Tennessee, the median sales price for a home tips almost $500,000, with February 2024 data coming in at $478,000. However, economists say middle America is having a hard time keeping up because it hasn't seen a pay raise to adequately support these sky-high prices. Things like groceries, gas, and everyday bills are putting comfortable living out of reach.
The thing that's gone up the most in price has actually been mortgage payments, because mortgage payments now are, it used to be the average mortgage payment a few years ago was about $1,800 a month. Now it's over $3,000 a month. So this is like a tax on the middle class, and it's a tax on the American dream.
According to this Massachusetts Institute of Technology living wage calculator, in Nashville, an average household income of 2 working adults and 2 children would need to be around $105,986. And while salaries are stagnant, it's pricing middle-income families out of the market. Local realtor Erica Curry explains it this way.
So we have an inventory crunch, which is propping up these home prices, and we have buyers that can't afford to buy them. However, more buyers can afford to buy them than what we have sellers on the market, and that's where we are with this problem.
She says the only solution in sight is waiting for the Fed to lower interest rates. And if you're in a pinch and find your dream home, create a plan to buy now and refinance later to take advantage of lower interest rates and not wait on the market.
I mean, the catch there, too, is that if you're trying to buy now, you still have to be able to afford it in order to be able to refinance later, not to mention all the money for the down payment and whatnot. So an economist, Steve Moore, says right now, current interest rates are not ideal, obviously. I mean, you're looking in the range of like 4, 5, 6, maybe even 7%, depending on your credit. The goal here, what the market is striving for, is more of a 2% interest rate. And we're still waiting on the feds to see what their next move will be coming up in May, I believe, June. So we'll see whether they cut those interest rates.
We're also this morning talking about the Mule Day Parade happening this weekend over in Columbia. We love Columbia. The parade starts at 11 o'clock. That's going to be in the morning, Saturday at the intersection of Carmack Boulevard and South Main Street.
Columbia Police just putting out the reminder right now for Mule Days that there are going to be several roads that will be closed for the parade, and we've got the map here on your screen for you. West 7th Street closed, Garden Street closed, Carmack Boulevard closed, and those closures begin at 9 a.m. All right, we understand that police will be around there just to make sure you can, find your way around while the roads are closed until the parade is finished.
All right, so let's check in now with our Code Red meteorologist to find out what the weather is. It going to cooperate for Saturday in Columbia?
Finally, it'll cooperate for an event here. We're not worried about it. The Sounds home opener was not a nice way to start off the baseball season. We're looking ahead to the eclipse as well. I've got first indicators here for you. I'm going to show you in the forecast. First, let's answer our curious question about the eclipse and then get to the forecast. A total solar eclipse happens in the exact same location. Think Nashville, specifically the exact same location every how many years? 80 years, 150, 375, or 790? The answer, in the same location, happens about every 375 years. And you might think, well, we just had the one back in 2017. Well, we're not a total eclipse this time. That's how roughly it happens. Yeah, not that frequent whatsoever. Now, we get one across the entire globe, one every 2 years, but that's not in the same place. There's a lot of geography on the planet. Taking a look here at the forecast of what this means. Saturday, we were just talking about Mule Day, the parade, the whole 9 yards. Everything is good. But watch what's moving in here going Saturday into Sunday. We have cloud cover first. This is Sunday at 7 o'clock. We don't get rain on Sunday. But we take a look into Monday. Sunday by 7 p.m. into Monday, we do have rain that moves in. And the path of totality, we're talking about some areas that we're going to see some cloud cover, Cleveland down through Texas. It's going to be real hit or miss if we get the chance to see this as it moves in right around 2 o'clock on Monday.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
Wild weather continued in several states this week, leaving behind a mess, like these damaging winds in West Virginia and wet, heavy snow in Wisconsin that has these daffodils down. And near West Union, Ohio, this historic covered bridge built in the 1860s is another severe weather casualty. The Kirker Bridge has been in the National Register of Historic Places since 1975.
For more content like this, follow the National Weather Desk on Instagram.
All right. right, everyone, steer clear traffic on. Let's get a look at what's happening out there at I-40 at Spence Lane. As you make that drive in from the east side of downtown Nashville, they are finally pulling over the cars from this side of the road to the other after several of them were involved in this crash coming in. So they've shut down the interstate there on I-40 coming eastbound. You want to use Lebanon Pike, Elm Hill Pike as the best ways to steer clear. This is not the only thing we're watching. We're also watching a huge slowdown coming in from Franklin, Kentucky this morning because of a crash at mile marker 117. We're looking at an hour and a half right now to get down from Franklin, Kentucky into downtown Nashville.
Justin, thank you. Next, chaos on the ice. After the break, how 8 players, this was a mess. They got into some truly hot, look at this, throwing punches.
Oh boy. That our company's goal is to wash every widow's house in Nashville for free. To help us, visit brownspressurewashing.com and click on Wash a Widow's House.
Hey there, good morning, and welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. Just about 4 minutes before 7 o'clock, cloudy live look from Metro Center. This is the camera right on top of our station, looking out toward the Titans practice facility. That's the white dome that you see right there. When are the clouds going to break up? When might we see the sunshine again? Greg's going to tell us here in just a couple of moments.
I need some sunshine. Hey, take a look at this. This is chaos on the ice, and you really, really want to watch. 8 players were ejected after this massive fight broke out. Look, throwing punches. This was between the New Jersey Devils and the New York Rangers. It was last night. Now, immediately after this particular game, as you might imagine, folks were just like all in a tizzy. After the game started, all 10 players dropped their gloves and they began brawling. So again, the fight apparently stemmed from a fight between the two teams earlier in the month during their last matchup that they still had on their brains, apparently.
Yeah, so they had beef already.
Yeah.
I mean, they were coming into this with some stuff under the surface. We do know that there were 4 players from each team ejected. The Rangers ended up winning 4-3.
I mean,
it's been a while since we've seen a big hockey fight like this.
Oh, man, I saw one a couple of weeks ago with the Predators.
The gloves came off. Here's what cracks me up, too, about these hockey fights. You're punching a helmet. Man. Well, I mean, he took his helmet off, but anyhow. All right, this morning, a question for you. Have you checked your lottery tickets yet? Did you buy one last night? You'll want to know there was no jackpot winner in the Powerball drawing overnight. In case you missed it, the winning numbers 11, 38, 40. Hold on. Let me put on my glasses. 41, 62, 65, and the Powerball 15. The jackpot now goes up to an estimated $1.23 billion. Now, there were some other, smaller jackpots that were claimed overnight, but the big one still out there. The next drawing for Powerball is Saturday night.
I love that you put your glasses on. Got to make sure we get it.
I didn't want to get the numbers wrong.
Don't mess the numbers up. Hey, I want to take a moment and just thank all the students, the teachers, the librarians over at Fairview Elementary School, showing you some photos right here on your screen and saying good morning to all of them over there at Fairview. Hi. Yeah, they had me over there to read to some of the students, and they were just fantastic. And I said earlier that they asked a lot of questions about the weather. So I called Katie, and I'm asking Greg too to go over there to Fairview Elementary School. But I mean, gosh, they're just fantastic. There's Frankie.
Okay, so listen, there's a funny story behind all this. Years ago, I'm talking probably 5 or 6 years ago, Frankie, who was in a picture with Erica, Frankie and his mom Leslie asked if they could come visit us here at Fox 17 this morning. She had reached out to us saying that Frankie loves watching us in the mornings, and at the time he was just a baby. I mean, just a toddler. And so Frankie and his mom came here to visit with us all those years ago, and now there he is again. There's Frankie thriving in school. So Leslie, thank you so much for that first visit all those years ago, and
Leslie's
for all
so
the
sweet.
fun yesterday.
Hey, we're gonna check in now with our Code Red meteorologist. By the way, Leslie, when I was pregnant, sent me baby gifts, so she's the sweetest.
I absolutely love that. Give me a call. I mean, I don't have much going on after 9 o'clock in the morning most days, so would love to come out. School day forecast for us here. First bell, 43 degrees. Nothing happening on radar right now, but by the end of the day, a couple pop-up showers out there. Maybe an umbrella just in case is a good idea. Coming up in the 7 o'clock half hour, we'll look ahead to Future Track, a new model update for you. In time out, a couple hit and miss showers for later on in the day and carry you into finally some better weather in the upcoming weekend.
Right now, steer clear traffic. We've got a big crash. I-40 at Spence Lane. Interstate currently shut down as they work to move this over. This is I-40 at Spence East. of downtown Nashville. Now, this is a huge corridor on the morning commute. Want to let you know the best detour so that you don't get stuck in this mess as we do watch them clear it here. This is inbound to Nashville. So if you're coming into Nashville on I-40 from east of downtown, so say, Hermitage, Donaldson, Mount Juliet, you could take good detours like Lebanon Pike or Elm Hill Pike to steer clear.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Fox 17 News working to bring you the latest updates on stories impacting our communities. This morning we have an update on the suspect involved in the deadly shooting that happened at a Nashville restaurant on Easter Sunday, and also facing the court, accused of taking the life of his unborn child and girlfriend. We're going to talk about the charges against a former Titan scout, plus a story that has gained national attention as many ask, where is 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers? The latest information surrounding the search efforts.
From severe weather to temperatures near freezing, frost and flurries when we rebound back to spring conditions in your forecast.
First, though, thank you so much for waking up with us here on a Thursday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We are glad to be your live local news source, always here for you through 9 a.m. when those other stations go to their national programming that's pre-recorded. We have you covered live and local. Right now, I do want to get to all the stories, and they are several here this Thursday morning. We now know the man who is accused of opening fire at a Salem Town restaurant on Easter Sunday will be returned to Nashville from Kentucky in the near future. You are looking at a photo right now of the man who was accused in the Easter brunch shooting in Salem Town. This is Anton Rucker, arrested Tuesday night in Princeton, Kentucky, waived extradition yesterday. Rucker charged with criminal homicide in that deadly shooting at Roasted, the restaurant in Salem Town. Police say 33-year-old Alan Beecham died in that shooting. 6 other people hurt. We're told Rucker is expected to face charges for all of those additional injuries in addition to the death. So this investigation continues and we'll stay on top of it for you. Plus another Fox 17 News update right now. We now know the state of Tennessee is pursuing life in prison without parole for the man accused of killing his pregnant girlfriend. You're looking here at video court shots of Blaze Taylor, who appeared before a Davidson County judge just yesterday, arrested in Utah last month on 2 counts of first-degree murder. He's accused of poisoning his girlfriend, Jade Benning, and her unborn baby last spring, leading to their deaths. The DA's office prosecuting Taylor for life in prison for those deaths. By the way, he worked with the Tennessee Titans as a scout from 2019 to 2023. His bond hearing now set for April 15th.
The month of April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and Fox 17 News and local leaders were asking everyone to be aware of the resources that are available for victims and also their families.
Secretary of State Trey Hargett issuing a reminder about 2 critical resources provided through the Secretary of State's office. So let's take a look here. The first is the Safe at Home Address Confidentiality Program. The second resource is the Tennessee Business Against Trafficking Program.
And he says, quote, every Tennessean should know our office is here to support victims of horrific crimes like domestic abuse, stalking, human trafficking, and other sexual offenses. In April, by the way, and throughout the year, the Safe at Home Address Confidentiality Program prevents abusers from locating victims through public records.
And then we have the Tennessee Businesses Against Trafficking that launched in February. This program engages corporations and private groups through voluntary training efforts so that they can help identify, prevent, and combat human trafficking in communities across Tennessee. By the way, we'll have all these resources put together for you in one place, easy to access at fox17.com.
7:04 is the time. Let's check in now with our Code Red meteorologist. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning. Cold morning, but good morning. Not many complaints when it comes to any rain. Well, that's not going to be a thing to worry about till later on this afternoon, and really, compared to yesterday, very hit and miss. Most of us don't even get a shower later today. What is new, though? Frost is possible in the upper elevations this morning. Right now, there could be frost down the ground, especially Cumberland Plateau. Then tomorrow morning, even colder than this morning, and even going into Saturday morning. Have to watch out for it. That means plants need to continue to be covered. By the weekend, Finally back to some sunglasses and warmer times. Afternoons getting us back into the 60s and 70s. No code red weather, but the one thing, even though we're all clear, that you'll notice. With cooler temperatures like this, even a little wind goes a long way to be uncomfortable. Wind gusts up near 25 miles per hour. So this is not one of those flip-flops, shorts and t-shirts kind of days. We're not in that territory right now. We're at 47 in Nashville, but the upper elevations, again, upper 30s and lower 40s, many areas outside of Nashville. Coming up in the full check of your forecast, we'll look at future track. We'll find those tiny little showers for later today. We'll be talking about the eclipse forecast, get you your 7-day. Tons of things coming your way on Fox 17 News this morning.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get you to I-40 at Spence Lane, where we are dealing with the aftermath of that crash east of town. They've been able to move all the cars over here to the shoulder of the road. That is good news. Here is the look coming in from the south side, 65 at Hogan Road on the south side of town. People crawling by as police deal with a disabled car there in that area. We are going to continue to follow several things happening around town and get you your latest drive times coming up in the next few minutes.
Justin, thank you. 7:05 is the time right now. Tough news for anybody trying to rent or buy a home right now. There's a new study that shows Davidson County, okay, so we're talking Nashville, is facing high housing and rent prices as our population continues to grow.
It's really tough. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar is breaking it all down for us. Karen, what can you share? And good morning.
Good morning. The American dream is to come home at night to your own home. The problem is in Nashville, housing prices have gone up 170% from where they were at just a decade ago. For some perspective, take a look at this home behind me in Green Hills. That home is now worth what two homes collectively were worth 10 years ago. It's not just housing prices that are the issue, but can people afford it? A new study says no. Not to mention, it says 1 out of 4 people are spending 50% of their income on rent. Davidson County, in comparison to other counties across the country, is in the top percentage of high housing prices. And with the population growth, owning a home is hard and expensive. Coming up at 7:30, you'll hear from a realtor who can give you some tips on how you can ease the burden of these soaring housing prices. Reporting live in Green Hills, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Well, up next, Wilson County school leaders spent some time debating the fate of yet another book. We're going to tell you why some board members say the disagreement over some of these books in libraries may never, ever be resolved.
And the search is not over. Fox 17 News continuing.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Tennessee Home Buyers.
7:09 is the time, and new this morning, the Wilson County School Board voted to keep another book that was up for removal back on the library shelves. The book is called I Never by Laura Hopper. It's a book about a teenage girl having her first experience with dating and, yes, sexual experiences as well. Now, some want to remove the book because they say it was just way too explicit for high schoolers to be able to read. But the effort to remove that book failed by just one vote, and there was plenty of debate.
There are values and morals and ethics that come into play. And if they weren't, we wouldn't have policies for Wilson County schools.
Choosing to remove a book from the library explicitly because you disagree with the values that are represented in the book is 100% going to be a violation of the First Amendment.
If it's sexually explicit and the review says, just like this book, I Never, Kirkus says, this steamy and delightfully explicit exploration of teen sex and emotional growth begs to be passed from friend to friend.
You did not say in your previous comment, you did not say, you said values and morals.
And they do come into play.
That is what I am taking.
And they do come into play. Otherwise, we wouldn't need to have policies for Wilson County schools.
Specifically, obscenity and profanity is addressed separately and differently than values and morals.
By the way, school records show that the book I Never, the book they were debating about there, has been checked out a total of 5 times in 5 years across 2 Wilson County high schools. Well, Crisis in the Classroom is our commitment to exposing problems and finding solutions for issues happening in our schools. If you have a story, you can always send us an email at news@fox17.com, or you can call our tip line. Leave us a message, 615-266-4149.
7:11 our time. Dry on the radar right now, but we are overcast, breezy, and we are cool right side of your screen. Temperatures upper 30s and low 40s to start off this Thursday morning. A look at future track and moving us into the afternoon. We'll continue with the cloud cover for the majority of us. This is going to be a more blanketed day with clouds than yesterday. Looking at the late morning and early afternoon hours, if you look real close, you can find a few little specks of green that'll track through. Not nearly as heavy when it comes to rainfall as yesterday, nor will it be as widespread. So a pop-up shower or two. You're not going to get the on and off activity that many of us experience late morning into the afternoon hours. And we're not talking about graupel or hail this time around. We do break up clouds overnight tonight into tomorrow. Fairly sunny for your Friday and into your Saturday. Lunchtime, what are you going to have? Well, I might have something indoors today with that breeze and with that possible pop-up shower. Temperatures upper 40s starting at 11 o'clock into noon, and then cracking the 50-degree mark at 1 p.m. The 7-day forecast does give us a little warm up toward the weekend. 53 this afternoon, 62 degrees tomorrow. Lower 60s on Saturday, and back to 70 by Sunday, but gear up for a few more cold nights before we get there.
Up next, we'll tell you the latest with your steer clear traffic, including this tie-up at I-40 at Spence Lane. Plus, looking ahead, the control.
You're watching Fox 17 WZTV Nashville.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. It is 7:15, and we have continuing coverage this morning as the search is picking back up for a missing 15-year-old with autism. His name is Sebastian Rogers. Now, Sebastian disappeared from the Shackle Island community in Sumner County in February.
And now the TBI is joining local law enforcement agencies today for another, and they're saying this, thorough search. But so far, no leads. Rogers, though, was last seen, as you mentioned, June, February 26th in the Long Hollow Pike area. That is right near Beach High School.
Now, if you'd like to see all of our previous reporting on the Rogers case, and it is extensive, just head to fox17.com and search Sebastian. Right now, it looks like weather conditions for that search as it's picking up this morning. Fairly calm,
Yes.
Just a little cold to start the day.
Yeah, the chill's the big thing the next couple of mornings, but relatively calm, especially compared to the last 2 days.
Yeah.
So just get through the chill, and then we're good later on this afternoon. Finally can kind of get back to business as usual in some ways when it comes to outdoor activities and just getting into the weekend, trying to get some errands run. Maybe you want to get back and polish off the golf game a little bit today. Take a look here. Here's what your forecast is going to be like. 44 degrees at 9, 49 degrees at a noon tee off, and 52 at 3 p.m. If I already had a tee time made and I've been itching to get outside, I would not cancel it. I would just prepare for a breeze and cooler temperatures and have the golf umbrella with you because you may catch a shower or two. And this might be a cart path kind of morning given how much rain we've had the last 2 days. Another thing you may want to do, a lot of dirty looking cars outside after the last 2 days. I would say wait today and tomorrow. A few pop-up showers today. There are still some puddles out there. I would say go for it on Saturday and it'll lead you into the upcoming week. However, it only lasts you a couple of days. Monday is the next big weather maker in the forecast for us. Let's meet our dogs of the day. They've probably been cooped up with you, and they want to get outside for a nice walk later today. We have Zulu and Tango sent in by Monty and Linda from Clarksville. I hear they watch every morning. So, doggos, Zulu, Tango, you want a treat? You want to go for a walk? Okay, there you go. Go grab the leash. Go tell mom and dad. Here you go. Take a look at the forecast. Much drier than yesterday. Yesterday was literally find a pocket, run outside. Find a pocket of clearing, run outside. Today it's the opposite. Small pockets of rainfall that move in. I want to share your photos. You can go to Facebook, meteorologist Greg Bobus. You find that pinned post right there at the very top of the page. And just share your photo if you want to share a story about the dogs, if you want to tell us where you're from. We love to hear all of it because we can't see you when you see us. It's nice to know that your dogs watch us as well. Today, 53 degrees, breezy, and a few showers. We'll work into our eclipse forecast before we get to our 7:30 half hour.
All right. right, everyone, steer clear traffic at 7:18. Let's take a quick look here at I-40 at Spence Lane. We've been dealing with this crash for the last few moments now. At one point, it was blocking traffic completely as all of those cars were on the other side of the interstate here up against the wall. 2 lanes were blocked, and they blocked all traffic to move it from one side of the interstate to the other. And that's where we are right now with this particular crash. We're going to give you the total drive time. As you're coming in, you probably want to take Lebanon Pike or Elm Hill Pike is the best way to steer clear. So you can even see the exit there starting to stack up as people want to jump off. All right, here is I-65 going southbound towards Brentwood, towards Franklin, near Harding Place. They're calling it Hogan Road here. Authorities on the scene with 1 car on the shoulder there. Hopefully people can get by, just doing so a little bit slower. Here are your overall drive times. Clarksville at 69 minutes, Murfreesboro at 76 minutes. Mount Juliet, that's that time coming in from the east side near Spence Lane, 59 minutes total on that drive.
Justin, thank you. 7:19 is your time right now. And new this morning, we have a Tennessee court that's going to hear from both sides on a case surrounding our state's abortion law. One agency says the law is too restrictive. The state says this is about protecting the unborn.
Fox 17 News' Peyton Muse is joining us live outside a Metro courthouse with both sides of this argument. Peyton, what can you tell us?
Good morning, Jen and Erica. So in just a few hours, both sides will go before a judge to talk about Tennessee's abortion law. Now, it's one of the strictest in the country, and those who work in women's health say it's not exactly crystal clear. As it currently stands in Tennessee, doctors can only perform an abortion if the woman's life is in danger or if certain medical conditions are involved, for rare conditions like ectopic or molar pregnancy. The Center for Reproductive Rights argues no 2 pregnancies are alike, and the state excluded complications and not others that are equally dangerous to the pregnant woman, making doctors more confused about what they can or can't do. The Reproductive Rights Organization wants clarity.
To clarify that doctors can provide this care when they know the risk is out there. They don't have to wait for their patients to start running 102-degree fever or to start hemorrhaging. They can provide the care when they have evidence to believe that those consequences are going to happen.
The group argues doctors should not have to worry about a prosecutor or jury who may not have medical training second-guess their medical judgment in an emergency. Tennessee Right to Life says state lawmakers made amendments and came to an agreement, and this should be enough.
Irreversible bodily harm or organ, damage to organ function is, it's always been clear. It's certainly much clearer now that the law has been revised. So I understand that there is fear and worry by everybody involved in these stressful situations, but to me, the law allows great leniency.
Now, the other side wants the court to provide more clarity on the abortion law, and also they're asking for the statute to be temporarily blocked. Reporting live at Metro Courthouse, Peyton Muse, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Peyton, thank you. 7:21 right now, cracking down on crime. The Metro Nashville Police Department continuing to urge people to lock their cars as they try to cut down on car theft and people stealing guns from those cars. We're going to hear from the department directly coming up in our 7:30 half hour.
And the solar eclipse.
This property is going to auction on Wednesday, April the 17th at 11 a.m.
If you're interested in bidding on this property or selling your property at auction, go to NashvilleAuctions.com.
It's basically building the homes real close together.
Welcome back into Fox 17 News this morning. 7:24 is the time tonight. In Smashville, the Preds going to try to smash cancer and get a win at the same time. This is all part of their initiative to raise awareness for cancer causes. And, of course, they're going to try to beat the St. Louis Blues that are in town.
It's the Hockey Fights Cancer Night there at Bridgestone Arena. They do this every year, we understand. Preds will be raising money through donations and, of course, special merchandise purchases that will all go to benefit the Monroe Carroll Jr.'s Children's Hospital over there at Vanderbilt.
All right, so let's get a little perspective. When they did this last season, the Preds raised more than $280,000 for that program. The Preds right now 6 points ahead of the Blues in the conference rankings. So close to the playoffs. Puck drop at 7 p.m. tonight.
Just 7 games left in the regular season for the Preds,
Yeah.
so we'll see what happens. All right, it is one of the biggest things that happens in Murray County. I'm not kidding.
No.
They are very serious about
Yes, they
Mule
are.
Day down there. The Mule Day Parade is happening this weekend down in Columbia. That parade starts at 11 a.m. on Saturday, right at the intersection of Carmack Boulevard and South Main Street.
Columbia Police just reminding everybody roads in that area will be closed for the parade. West 7th, Garden Street, Carmack Boulevard, all road closures that will start at 9 a.m. Saturday. Police say they'll remain closed until the parade is all wrapped up.
Greg, they've been looking forward to this all year. It's a big deal.
I know, and given what's happened this week, you might think, oh, please do not let any of that stuff we just had to deal with happen on Saturday. Let's just start Future Track right there on Saturday. Nothing to wake up to worry about. Temperatures will be in the upper 30s, low 40s very early in the morning, but the afternoon, low 60s. There's not going to be a problem Saturday. Sunday into Monday, we creep into eclipse time here for Monday. This is what I'm watching very carefully. Rain moves in after sunset on Sunday and is going to exit as we go through our Monday. 20% chance for a few showers and storms, meaning not everyone gets rain, but look at 8 a.m. Monday. That's not when the eclipse is going on, but a few hours later. Here's the path of totality, 2 p.m., stopping it right there, when the eclipse will happen. This happens for us here. We might not have the best view. Now, it's not total, but 95% coverage. If we had a clear sky, would be a fantastic view still. We hope these clouds break up, but just plan for the possibility that there could be some clouds out there as the eclipse is starting for us and all the way through its duration. Not trying to rain on anyone's parade, quite literally, but better to know going in what the possibilities are as Monday creeps closer.
That way you know before you go. Greg, thank you very much. Right now, just a little bit of information about some special solar eclipse coverage that we will have for you exclusively at fox17.com. Coming up Monday from 1:45 to 2:15 that afternoon, we will be live from the path of totality. Now, you just saw Greg's graphics showing you that big swath of totality expected to move across the country. We understand that our own Katie Morgan is going to head to Kentucky. We understand perhaps in the vicinity of Paducah to get you a look at it from there. So make sure you join us at fox17.com Monday.
Also coming up, we've got a look at your steer clear traffic. Still dealing with the problem over there on the east side of town. We're going to tell you the very latest on the ways to steer clear.
I felt like my soul was ripped out of me when she was laying on that ground. I just prayed and I prayed. I just felt like everything in me was gone. I was so praying that God would save her.
That's the mother of Janae Edmondson, the young lady you see right here, the teenager who lost both of her legs because of a...
Always Asheville. Plan your trip now at exploreasheville.com.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by the Rocky McElhaney Law Firm. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
A new study shows housing prices are sky high in Davidson County. What you need to know coming up.
And a look out your window this morning, fairly cloudy. Not a whole lot of sun today, but lesser rain chances than yesterday. We'll work you into your upcoming weekend in just a few minutes.
Steer clear traffic takes us to I-40 at Spence Lane, where we continue to watch a multi-car crash. We'll tell you the best ways to steer clear.
Thank you so much for waking up with us here on a Thursday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
I'm Jennifer Waddell. We are glad to be your live local news source, always here for you through 9 a.m. When the other stations go to that network programming, it is pre-recorded, but we've got you covered live and local through 9.
I was talking to them saying, my mom said, don't close my eyes, I have to stay awake. And so I was just sitting there looking up, like repeating that to myself.
It's been an emotional roller coaster for the Smyrna volleyball standout, Janae Edmondson. Now this morning, we're learning more about the man facing several charges after the crash. Daniel Riley has filed for a retrial. And now we're getting some more updates. So according to the court documents, Daniel Riley's lawyer filed a motion for acquittal or a new trial in the Janae Edmondson case, claiming Riley was facing prejudice when the court included evidence that Riley had used drugs in the past. Edmondson was in Missouri for a volleyball tournament when she was hit by a car. Both of her legs ultimately had to be amputated as a result of the crash. Riley was behind the wheel of that car that hit Edmondson. Now, Fox 17 News, we have been following this story from the beginning. For this case, we've been tracking all the developments. If you'd like to catch up on previous reports, go to fox17.com and search Janae Edmondson.
And developing right now here in Nashville, Metro Police are asking for your help finding 2 teenagers who they want to talk to regarding a killing in East Nashville. Let's get to the surveillance video that shows these 2 teenagers police want to question. Take a look here. Police say that these 2 teens seen walking and running on a business security camera just minutes after the March 4th shooting on Lamont Drive in East Nashville. 16-year-old Henry Taylor died in that shooting. If you recognize these teenagers or if you have anything that could help bring about justice, please call Crime Stoppers. That number is at the bottom of your screen, 615-742-7463.
Right now, we're taking a look over on fox17.com, the website pulled up right behind me here. It's a topic we've been covering for more than a year now. Metro Nashville Police are asking y'all to crack down on locking your vehicles because valuables are really at risk, especially guns. Also, good reminder here, remove the keys. Scrolling through this story to let you know that local crews have been working hard to combat car thefts and similar crimes, which has resulted in about 260 arrests, 156 stolen vehicle recoveries, and 69 gun recoveries. So a lot to get to there. If you want to read the details about this story, go to fox17.com.
7:34 is your time right now. One day closer to the weekend, and Greg is here to tell us how everything's starting to shape up. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning. We're so close. This is the week that's felt like 2 weeks. But we're finally getting closer and closer to Saturday and Sunday themselves. So the big 3 things to know heading up to the weekend is that patchy morning frost is out there on the plateau in some areas right now, and we'll see it a little more widespread as we go into tomorrow morning and even Saturday morning. So sensitive plants. Well, I don't mean the ones that don't like when you don't talk to them nicely. The ones that can't handle the cold, cover them up here in the next couple of mornings and you'll be okay. Breezy today. You can already feel the wind and that combating all the cold, and then they work together, not good. Next weather maker arrives on Monday. The next good chance for some showers and storms really late Sunday into Monday and Tuesday, which is a 3-day time frame where we're not seeing rain the entire time, but rounds of showers and storms. Here are the actual temperatures. 47 right now in Nashville, 41 in Columbia, 41 in Tullahoma. You take a look here, though, at the wind chill temperatures, how it feels when you're out the door, and they are far different. We have places that feel like we're in the low 30s. You want a good coat this morning and an umbrella for this afternoon. I'm tracking a few isolated showers in the next check of your Code Red forecast.
Steer clear traffic. Let's get you around town, everybody. There's so much to show you. Let's get started here. I-40 at Spence Lanes. You make that drive in from the Donaldson Hermitage area. Tow truck on the scene to take away the leftovers of a crash here. You want to take Lebanon Pike, Elm Hill Pike as the best ways to steer clear on that drive from the east side. Let's get you to the north. This is 65 at Old Hickory Boulevard. Got a crash here on the shoulder of the road. TDOT is there. So is Metro Police. Hopefully they can get that out of the way soon. You can always try to take Dickerson Pike to steer clear from that. Just picked up this disabled vehicle right at I-65 at Wedgwood there south of downtown. If you normally make this drive over, this will take you straight over to Belmont University. So if you're on that drive normally, this could cost you some extra time right here at that Wedgwood exit.
Justin, thank you. 7:36 is your time. Okay, stating the obvious here, everything is more expensive these days. Everything. That does include homes. But just how much more expensive? Well, did you ever learn the 30% rule?
Yes.
Right, growing up, or maybe your parents told you about it. You should never spend more than 30% of your total monthly income on your housing, okay? That has changed significantly. And a new study shows that home prices across the country are 60% higher than they were a decade ago. But get this, in Davidson County, we're looking at a nearly 200% increase.
Okay, Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar joining us live out there in Green Hills with an update about this story.
The most important part of this study is the people who it's affecting. And some of them just don't have the money. The study says that people in the housing market, the way that it is now, just can't afford rent and they can't afford to buy a new home. Take a look at this home behind me for some perspective. It's hard to imagine that what you'd pay for that one home is worth what you'd pay for 2 homes just a decade ago. The study says housing prices have gone up 100% since then, and Davidson County ranks in the top percentage of high housing costs in comparison to other counties across the country. Justin Holder, a realtor, tells us what this means for buyers and offers some tips.
For a lot of buyers, that will mean waiting for a while. Lending incentives, I think we will see more of those come up. We're already seeing with builders, some builders are offering incentives, but fact of the matter is, for a lot of buyers, this may mean that they do rent a little bit longer. It may mean that they have to save a little bit longer for their down payment. It may mean that, again, purchasing right now may not be in their scope of reality.
Coming up at 8, you'll hear reaction from people on these sky-high housing prices. Reporting live in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, Karen, thank you. Hey, B&A.
Come see us at Loden Vision Centers because we're going to help you get the vision that you deserve.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Pool and Spa Depot.
7:41 is the time, in Operation Crime and Justice, the Justice Department is announcing that $78 million worth of new grants is ready to go for community-based violence prevention programs. Now, the funding is coming out of the bipartisan Safer Communities Act, which has allocated $250 million for these kinds of programs.
All right, so what does this all mean? Well, we had the announcement from U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland, who credited different local community programs for a recent drop in crime across America. But this would include a 13% drop in the number of murders in major cities last year. Garland describes that as the biggest one-year drop in 50 years. Interestingly enough, though, we were asking you about a week ago how you felt about these new reports and whether you felt safer in your local communities. And based on our poll, most of you said you don't. You haven't seen a correlation in your neighborhood.
Doesn't feel quite real yet. The Attorney General also announced that the Justice Department will deploy more federal resources and prosecutors to cities that continue to have violent crimes at levels well above the national average. And he was pointing to cities like St. Louis and Hartford, Connecticut in particular.
7:42 right now, and also in your community, looking ahead, the YWCA of Nashville and Middle Tennessee is inviting everybody to join the fight against domestic violence by attending their Wine, Women, and Shoes event. In case you missed it yesterday morning, we had the folks from the YWCA right here on our show. They've been doing this for 11 years. They've raised about $2.5 million to provide more safety for thousands of women who are trying to get to a safe situation, and then also to empower survivors to take control of their lives.
The event will take place coming up on Saturday, April the 13th at 11 o'clock over at the Music City Center in the Carl Dean Ballroom. For more information, visit our website, fox17.com. Real quick on your steer clear traffic this morning, want to tell you that things are moving, but moving slowly because of a number of accidents. I-40 at Spence Lane, there's a crash there. Here's 65 at Wedgwood, there is a crash. We just picked up a crash that cleared 65 at Hogan Road, so things are getting a little better. We'll give you a more detailed update coming up in a few.
And we'll dive into your forecast with Code Red meteorologist Greg Bobus in minutes. Good morning to you.
I was like, oh my God, no. And I get up and I'm walking around storming, and like I open the door and I go outside and there's nothing.
Imagine ordering a brand new TV for your home and it's taking
a loved one that was abused or neglected in a nursing home or assisted care facility. Contact the Higgins firm immediately. You pay nothing unless we win.
We have an update this morning on a story that we previously told you about involving a Wilson County woman who had a new television stolen right off her porch, she says, by the men who delivered it.
Well, listen, her Ring doorbell camera got video of them in the act, and as Fox 17 News' Dennis Ferrier shows us, after our story aired, Walmart agreed to give her another TV.
Yeah, absolutely. Good morning. You know, this is what people love. It's a story we love to report when big companies or government decides to do the right thing. But here's the background. Christina Scheer was so excited to get her new TV. She'd been thinking about it for a year. But when it finally arrived, It appeared to vanish into thin air. But then they looked at that Ring camera and a very different story emerged. The Walmart delivery people took a nice picture of Christina Shearer's new TV placed perfectly on the front porch. She was actually in the house. She got to the front door just minutes after the delivery.
And I was like, oh my God, no. And I get up and I'm walking around storming, and like I open the door and I go outside and there's nothing. And I'm like, okay, well maybe we put it on the side of the house. So I'm running down there looking on the side of the house, nothing. And I was like, oh my God. And I'm walking back up to the house and I'm like, what happened?
Porch pirate, she told her boyfriend, and then lost it.
And I went into my room and I just boohoo cried because I was like, why would this happen to me? Like, what did I do to deserve this? I was like, I've literally been trying to buy this TV for like a year and a half.
But wait a minute. Christina had a doorbell camera. Her and her boyfriend started reviewing video, and oh my goodness, could it be true? You see the delivery men bringing the TV up to the porch. The next video shows them taking the TV back to the truck. Notice how far away they parked, way down the street, not in front of the house. She called the Wilson County Sheriff's Department, who came over and watched the video with them.
I think the delivery person took it. And so the sheriff looked at the same videos and he was like, that's what it's looking like. And I was just like, oh great, wonderful. So, and it was just like, it happened so fast. And I was just like, what now?
So she called Walmart, who subcontracts deliveries with a company called Roadie. Walmart actually got the delivery driver on the phone. All of a sudden, Christina is talking to the man she thinks stole her TV. And you're not going to believe what he told her.
Why are you being such an ungrateful bitch? Or something like that? And I flipped out. I was like, what? I was like, you just stole my TV. I'm not being ungrateful. I want the product that I ordered.
Here's where it gets crazier. Christina says Walmart told her they are not responsible for theft.
So basically, Walmart's like, we're done. We're washing. You got your stuff. Like, that's not our problem. So I was just like, what am I supposed to do with that?
We also contacted Walmart to see if that is truly policy. Is Walmart saying it is not responsible for the subcontractors it hires? At the same time, subcontractor Roadie says it's open an investigation. And the Wilson County Sheriff's Office is pursuing theft charges through multiple subpoenas. What did Walmart tell us? Nothing. They did not answer our email.
You would think that a billion-dollar company has insurance for these purposes. Like, not everybody is honest.
So here is the resolution. Shearer says Walmart has decided to give her a refund and a $100 gift card. She says she chose a refund instead of a replacement TV because she doesn't trust the delivery service.
Oh, man.
Imagine that. But Walmart tells us they're opening their own investigation. And here's the thing, you know, since this story aired, I've got more emails said the same thing happened to me, the same thing happened to me. The difference was pushing. You do have to push. You know, if you kind of give up.
Well, they're going to let you, they're just going to brush you away.
Right,
Yeah.
walk all over you. But it's so nice to, right? Because it's meaningful when you come out there and you get the right
You finally
thing
get your
done.
answers.
Yes.
The right answer.
The right answer.
The right answer. That is a super yellow dress.
Thank you, Dennis.
I feel like I should have sunglasses out here. I'm like, whoa.
Blinding.
All right, switching gears
Wow, that's
once
yellow.
and twice. Now we're going to send it over to the forecast. Greg, Erica's bringing the sunshine. Are you bringing the sunshine?
No, that's why Erica's helping us out this morning, because I got nothing. I've got this. A look at Metro Center. We're in clouds, and we're going to see that for most of today. So this is one of your make-your-own sunshine kind of days. What to wear? You want everything long sleeves and pants. You're grabbing an umbrella in case for later. We're dry right now. A pop-up shower or two cannot be ruled out this afternoon. Not like yesterday, where it was heavy rain, sunshine, heavy rain. It's going to be fairly cloudy and a few pop-up little light showers, maybe even some drizzly spots throughout this afternoon. Not the entire day like last time. Out the door this morning, 42 degrees at 8 a.m., 44 at 9. We're talking about a temperature of 46 at 10 o'clock. Slow progression to the low 50s. That's all we get today. Future Track going to confirm that we do keep most of the cloud cover throughout today. There'll be some subtle breaks occasionally, but it won't be those good bursts of blue sky through everything like we saw yesterday. This is what I mean by a pop-up. afternoon toward the evening hours. Lighter the green color, the lighter the rain. So there's not a lot to worry about this time. I'm not canceling plans, just an umbrella in case, and we're going to be in a really nice position today. Tomorrow, going into Saturday, nothing to worry about. I'm even to the point to where I'm thinking about dinner right now. Barbecue alert here. First night in some time, first evening when we'll have a decent enough forecast to fire up the grill. So get out there. Grilling with Greg forecast. Take a look. 51 degrees at 5, 51 at 6, 50 degrees at 7. Rain chances, again, very tiny. If you're watching the radar, and even if you're outside, it shouldn't stop you from being able to finish your meal and maybe get back inside and eat. Today, 53 degrees, breezy. If you're using a charcoal grill, that could be a problem with you. Make sure you have something to cover up that wind from hitting you. It may mess with the temperature. Taking a look, 53 degrees today, 62 tomorrow, 63 on Saturday, 71 on Sunday. The only catch, even though we're getting warmer into the weekend, is that the nighttime temperatures will stay cold until the end of the weekend.
Steer clear traffic at 7:52. Here's a quick look, everyone, at I-40 at Spence Lane in the clearing stages of a multi-car crash here. Hopefully, they get it up and out of here very soon, as the backup still is hanging with us. At one point, this particular crash had the interstate shut down. So glad to see the cars are back up rolling again, but it's been a slow go. Here are your drive times right now. Clarksville to downtown in 69 minutes. Murfreesboro at around 76 minutes. Still a slow drive up I-24. 50 minutes from Franklin into downtown. As a matter of fact, we'll take you down to Williamson County coming up in a few.
Justin, thank you. 7:53 is the time right now, and in your community, Clarksville, happening right now. Family Care Center, one of the nation's premier mental health providers, is celebrating the opening of their newest clinic. They've got a special ribbon cutting ceremony that is going to happen today, April 4th, from 3 until 5 p.m. This is on Otis Smith Drive. We've got the details right here on your screen.
Well, still ahead, if you're getting ready.
About 5 p.m. Sunday at the Sprint warehouse in Nashville. You'll save hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Warehouse directions at sprints.com.
Welcome back, 7:56 your time right now, and the next couple of days you're going to notice your lawn that went from this on Monday to this with all the rain we have had and all the lightning out there. So when to mow, when to get that lawn back under control. I wouldn't do it today. We had the rain the last 2 days, still some damp grass and also a few more pop-up light rain showers, a lot of wind, and on the cooler side tomorrow and Saturday look great, and so does Sunday. I would get it done by the end of the weekend, though, because Monday into Tuesday get active once again. If you miss your window, a week from now it could be an even worse situation. So there's the advice. Today, no. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, go for it. I mentioned a few pop-up showers that are possible later today. You can track those by getting the Fox 17 Code Red weather app. Look up. Point the camera, you take pictures of everything, scan the QR code, go download the app, and you can look at the radar anytime in real time, no matter where you're at, not even just here, anywhere across the country to stay rain-free.
Steer clear traffic this morning. Good morning here. Caught me, just trying to eat a little something here. I-65 in Moore's Lane, you make that drive in from Franklin. It's breakfast for us too, you make that drive in from the south side this morning. This is Williamson County. You're doing okay. We are running into just a little bit of a slowdown there. As you make that drive in, you can always take Franklin Pike as the best way to steer clear. We're going to check in on some other areas of town coming up here in the next few minutes. Just know the slowdowns are still there, and they're hanging out just a little bit longer than what we are normally see them doing on a Thursday morning.
Justin, thank you. Hey, we're talking about the ways that you're changing how you travel. Some of you, well, you might notice that you have some summer vacations and those gas prices, they're not dipping.
Yeah, whatever you've budgeted for your fuel for your trip this summer, go ahead and tack on some extra. This morning, we are getting warnings from the experts that gas prices will not be coming down anytime soon. I mean, we always anticipate a bump in the summer travel season, but right now we understand crude oil is up by about $10 per barrel over the last few months, and that does translate to the prices at the pumps that we're seeing right here in the mid-state.
Well, the price hike coming as the Biden administration cancels their plans to replenish the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. At the moment, the states with the highest gas prices, places like California and Washington. Tennessee is ranked among the states with the lower prices, but it doesn't necessarily feel that way to me.
Yet another reason, though, to be thankful we do not live on the West Coast.
Sure.
Everybody trying to save some money, and we always make it easier for you to find the lowest gas prices in your area. We're here to help you save a few bucks. Head to fox17.com, click on fuel gauge. It'll show you this map, the one you're looking at on your screen right here. Super interactive. You just hover over it. Maybe pick out the spot where you're traveling later today for your job, or if you've got to run the kids around, fill up while you're there. It'll show you some of the cheaper prices like north and east of downtown Nashville.
We always want to thank our teachers, so take a look at this story. 2024's National Teacher of the Year is from Rogersville, Tennessee. Missy Testerman, making this year's honor for her hard work in the community for 30 years. Those around her say she has been a fierce advocate for students of all backgrounds, especially those who are learning English for the first time.
I feel like that my most important role over the next year is going to be to empower teachers to use their voice and their expertise to advocate for the things that they need, the things that their students need.
Oh, it's such a big congratulations to her. As part of the honor, Ms. Testerman will travel across the country and share her story and her approach to teaching with other educators.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
8 o'clock on the dot, Fox 17 News working to bring you the latest updates on stories impacting our communities. This morning we have an update on the suspect involved in a deadly shooting that happened at a Nashville restaurant Easter Sunday. And facing the court, accused of taking the life of his unborn child and girlfriend, the charges against a former Titan scout. And a story that has gained national attention. We're getting some updates as to the search efforts for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers, the newest information surrounding the search.
Breezy, windy, and a few more showers. How many more mornings we have to use the words wind chill before we get back to some spring weather coming up in your forecast?
We want some sunshine. Thank you so much for waking up with us here on a Thursday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We are honored to be your live local news source from 7 to 9 a.m. every weekday morning. The other stations go to network programming. Now we've got you covered live and local through 9, and we have a lot to cover new this hour. First of all, we begin with the story of the man who is accused of opening fire at a Salem town restaurant Easter Sunday during brunch. We now know he will be returned to Nashville from Kentucky sometime soon. We're working on nailing down the date, but we do know, according to Metro Police, that Anton Rucker got arrested Tuesday night in Princeton, Kentucky, waived extradition yesterday. Rucker charged with criminal homicide in Sunday's deadly shooting at Roasted in Salem town. Police say 33-year-old Alan Beecham died. 6 other people ended up hurt. We're told that Rucker is expected to be charged for those additional injuries as the investigation continues. And we have another Fox 17 News update right now. We now know the state of Tennessee is pursuing life in prison without parole for the man accused of killing his pregnant girlfriend.
Blaze Taylor appeared before a Davidson County judge yesterday. Now, we understand he was arrested in Utah last month on 2 counts of first-degree murder. He is accused of poisoning his girlfriend, Jade Benning, and her unborn baby last spring. The DA's office is now prosecuting Taylor for life in prison for their deaths. Taylor worked with the Tennessee Titans as a scout from 2019 to 2023. His bond hearing, though, is set for April 15th.
It's 8:02 right now, and the month of April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and Fox 17, along with other local leaders, want to make everyone aware of the resources that are available for victims and their families.
Yes, the Secretary of State is issuing a reminder about 2 critical resources provided through the Secretary of State's office. So we're going to give you some more information about this.
So the first one is something called the Safe at Home Address Confidentiality Program. The other resource is the Tennessee Businesses Against Trafficking Program.
They say, quote, every Tennessean should know our office is here to support victims of horrific crimes like domestic abuse, stalking, human trafficking, and other sexual offenses in April and throughout the year. The Safe at Home Address Confidentiality Program prevents abusers from locating victims through public records.
And then that Tennessee Businesses Against Trafficking, that group launched it just this February. That program encourages corporations and private entities to get involved through some voluntary training that would help them identify, prevent, and even combat human trafficking in communities right here in Tennessee.
Well, right now we're going to check in with our Code Red meteorologist, Greg Bobus. Is there going to be any kind of sunshine? That's what I'm hoping for.
If you can hold off until tomorrow, we'll get some for a good chunk of the day, and then Saturday looks very sunny as well. Today, not so much the case. Whatever little bursts we get, enjoy them for what they are. The majority of our day is going to be breezy and fairly cloudy, but we're all clear, no code red weather. We're going to keep that out of the forecast until at least Monday into Tuesday. That's our next storm chance, and we'll keep our eyes on any potential severe weather. 48 degrees. Temperature has not moved much at all in Nashville in the last 2 hours. Outlying areas, surrounding areas, a little bit cooler than that. Take a look. 40 in Crossville, 42 in Cookeville, 41 in Lewisburg. Factor in the breeze and the temperature together, and you get this, what it actually feels like. The wind chill temperature of 36 in Nashville, feels like 28 in Crossville, 32 in Tullahoma, and 33 degrees in Lewisburg. So we're all starting off with wind chills in the 30s. These numbers will not get back into the 40s until at least 10 o'clock this morning. Chilly morning, afternoon, only up to 54 degrees if you're lucky. I actually put it back down to 53 here, seeing how overcast we're going to be. 62 degrees tomorrow, and then 63 on Saturday. We'll talk Sunday into Monday and potential variables for our eclipse forecast on Monday.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get a look here at I-65 at Wedgwood. We were just clearing up from a crash here that was right there at the traffic light at the ramp, 465 at Wedgwood. So good news, if you're heading over to Belmont University, you can get there now without delay because they've been able to clear that out of the way. Let me show you where there is still some problems. I-24 at the Silman Evans Bridge. We just picked this up. You ever seen one of these on the road? They're doing a lot of heavy hauling, and this morning, this hauler decided it can't go any further. It stopped right here. So they're still on the shoulder of the road dealing with whatever this is. Authority will get there, and when they do, it's going to force everybody over. So if you need to go past Nissan Stadium this morning, just know it is going to get slow whenever authorities do arrive there. Overall drive times all in the yellow. We're going to continue to tell you more about the traffic ride into town coming up in a few.
Well, right now, some tough news for those wanting to rent or buy a home. And it might not surprise you, but there is a new study showing Davidson County is facing high housing and rent prices as the population just continues growing.
So what does the future look like here in Nashville? Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar joining us live to break it all down for us.
Good morning. It's the American dream to be able to walk into a home, but not just any home, but a home that you bought yourself. Take a look at this home right beside me. The new study says that a cost of just this home is worth 2 homes that you'd be able to buy just a decade ago. And what's more is that Nashvillians just aren't able to afford the new sky-high prices. It says that 1 out of 4 people are spending 50% of their income on rent. Home prices cost more than half of what they were 10 years ago. Davidson County ranks in the top percentage of high housing costs in comparison to other counties across the country. Luann Dyer, who has lived in Nashville all her life, reacts to the sky-high prices.
I'm actually thinking of maybe selling my house. Of course, the flip side means I need to buy something. It really scares me a lot to hear that they have gone up that much just in a decade, and it really makes me worry about first-time buyers.
Coming up at 8:30, you'll hear from a realtor who'll be able to give you tips if you decide to buy a home or rent. Of course, he mentions that it's not going to be likely that you'll be able to buy a home during the basically housing market crisis, but he can give you some tips to help ease the burden if you plan to do so in the future. Reporting live in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
8:07, Wilson County school leaders spent a lot of time debating the fate of yet another book. We're going to tell you about the title and subject in that book, and also why board members say they will never come to a full agreement.
Also ahead on Fox 17 News, local crews say the search can...
Won't find that anywhere else. Make your outdoor space better than ever at B.F. Myers Furniture.
This Fox 17 newscast is sponsored by the Nashville Preds.
8:10 is the time here on this Thursday morning, and new this morning, the Wilson County School Board voted to keep a book, I Never, by Laura Hopper, on the library shelves. The book is about a teenage girl who is having her first experience with dating and, yes, sexual experience as well. Now, some people want to remove the book from the library because they say it's just way too explicit for kids who are in high school. However, the effort to remove that book failed by just one vote, and there was plenty of heated debate between.
That is part of the beauty of the United States. We can agree to disagree. And, you know, I don't love these books, but I can raise my kids the way I want to. And I don't need a school board to tell me that. But
we tell them how to dress.
This slippery slope that we are clearly going down here is that if you remove every single book with any reference to sex and sexuality, you also remove the Bible. Where do we draw the line?
And I did.
We're keeping the Bible because it's the Bible, but we're going to get rid of everything else? Because that's not right either.
Now, keep in mind, the book that they were talking about, I Never, has been checked out a total of 5 times in the last 5 years across 2 high schools there in Wilson County. Well, Crisis in the Classroom is our commitment to exposing problems and finding solutions for issues in our schools. If you have a story that you think we should know about, you can send us an email at news@fox17.com or call our tip line 615-266-4149.
8:12, quick look at your forecast here. We'll start with a look outside, and we're going to attempt to see a little bit of sun here and there. Not as much as yesterday, but also not as much rain as yesterday. Until we get a little bit of sunshine, though, our temperatures are not feeling great. You feel like you're in the 30s this morning. Bundle up. Here's what I mean. Fairly overcast on Future Track. It's not going to be the heavy downpour scenario we had yesterday, but absolutely a couple of pop-up showers are going to be out there. These much lighter, and there won't be as many on the radar throughout the afternoon, which is good news for us. Once we're done with this evening, everything turns off tonight. Clouds will pull away, making tomorrow morning even colder than this morning. There will be a few areas tomorrow morning and Saturday morning with clearing that will have some sunshine, but wind chill values that could be in the upper 20s. Better know where your winter coat is at the next 2 mornings, because it's even colder than what we're dealing with this morning. Getting outside, backyard forecast. If the kids have been inside getting home from school and been cooped up the last 2 days, you'll be okay to get out. Just watch one of those pop-up showers and make sure we're wearing the appropriate clothes. This is not the shorts and t-shirt outside in the backyard. This is the long sleeves and the pants for a couple more days. The 7-day forecast, though, that's going to be phenomenal. We're going to deep dive into the warm-up into the weekend coming up in a few.
Well, coming up on Fox 17 News this morning, we're going to tell you more about the slowdown on I-24 near the Silman-Evans Bridge and the best ways to steer clear.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. It is 8:15. We have continuing coverage right now as the search picks back up again this morning for the missing 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers from Hendersonville.
He disappeared from the Shackle Island community in February. So the TBI, as we have talked about, is now joining local law enforcement agencies today for another thorough search, but still, so far, no leads.
Yeah, and something worth pointing out, in case you missed it yesterday with regards to leads, we had, through local law enforcement, been reporting about this pair of glasses found during one of their searches. They are confirming through the sheriff's department there in Sumner County, those glasses do not belong to Sebastian Rogers.
So if you'd like to catch up on previous coverage and to see any updates, be sure to follow all of our social media platforms, but also go here. It's fox17.com and search Sebastian Rogers. 8:16 is the time. We're checking in now with our Code Red meteorologist. Good morning, Greg. I know you have an interesting graphic behind you. Am I going to say it correctly? Grapple.
We're good.
Nailed it.
Thank you.
We're all good. And I have this graphic because I didn't personally see it, but Jen, I know you encountered some yesterday.
Well, yeah, just we were out at the baseball game and it got cold and windy and it started sprinkling, and then we all started realizing, wait, that's not just rain. We could see the little grapple bouncing off of our jackets.
Rain shouldn't bounce off of me and slightly hurt when I'm outside.
Right.
That's not how it should be, but it wasn't hail. There's a big difference between the two. They both are frozen. But what happens with what we saw yesterday is temperatures are above freezing at ground level, which we knew we had, and really cold way up in the atmosphere. And we'll get rain droplets that get pushed up into a cloud real quick, and they'll encounter snowflakes. tiny little ice crystals. And they go, oh, want to be my friend? Let's go. Okay, let's go for a trip. And they go back down. Whereas hail is actual ice that continues to refreeze and refreeze in giant thunderstorms. This only gets to be about 0.2 of an inch at most. We all know hail can get pea size, golf ball size, softball size. Totally different, but both absolutely frozen. That's what we saw. Nothing like that out at the baseball fields later on today, though. After school sports will keep us at 51 degrees at 5, 50 degrees at 7, 45 degrees at 9. A few pop-up showers, but again, we're not worried about anything when it comes to frozen things falling from the sky. Dogs of the day, Zulu and Tango, sent in by Monty and Linda from Clarksville. And if you're watching this morning with us here, it's a much better dog walking forecast than it was yesterday. More dry hours. Still cool. We feel like we're in the 30s right now. Afternoon, we'll turn the corner back into the lower 50s, and that's about as warm as we'll get today. We'll show you your 7-day forecast and future track with those showers in about 5 minutes.
All right, everyone, steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get you out to I-24 at the Silman Evans Bridge. This is downtown Nashville. And if you're coming through the heart of downtown, this is one of the things that could be getting in your way. We've got a really huge truck hauling several other heavy vehicles back behind it, but it's been involved with some type of entanglement with another car who's also got a trailer on it. So once authorities get there, and there they are, Metro Police just arriving to the back here of this thing that's moving everybody over by one lane. So you'll notice nobody really in this outside lane, maybe a couple of people trying to squeeze back over. It's going to slow things coming through the heart of downtown. Give yourself an extra 10 to 15 minutes. I could tell you to get off and try to reroute you. Don't do that. Just give yourself an extra 10 to 15 minutes. You can get through some of the backup this is causing. Speaking of backup, we're seeing an ease of backup at 65 at Moore's Lane here in the Franklin area through Cool Springs. This was a parking lot a few moments ago. Glad to see things are back and moving again. How about those drive times? 69 minutes coming out from Clarksville. We've had a pesky accident up near Whites Creek Pike for the last little bit. 72 minutes in from Murfreesboro. Still a solid 50 minutes, though, in from Williamson County.
Thank you, Justin. New this Thursday morning, a Tennessee court is going to hear from both sides on a case surrounding the state's abortion law.
One agency says the law is too restrictive. The state says this is all about protecting the unborn. We have Fox 17 News reporter Peyton Muse joining us live this morning just outside of the Metro Courthouse with both sides.
Good morning, Jen and Erica. So in about 20 minutes, a judge will get to hear from both sides on Tennessee's abortion law. It's one of the strictest in the country, and those who work in women's health say it's not exactly crystal clear. As it currently stands in Tennessee, doctors can only perform an abortion if the woman's life is in danger or if certain medical conditions are involved, for rare conditions like ectopic or molar pregnancy. The Center for Reproductive Rights argues no two pregnancies are alike, and the state excluded complications and not others that are equally dangerous to the pregnant woman, making doctors more confused about what they can or can't do. The Reproductive Rights Organization wants clarity.
To clarify that doctors can provide this care when they know the risk is out there. They don't have to wait for their patients to start running 102-degree fever or to start hemorrhaging. They can provide the care when they have evidence to believe that those consequences are going to happen.
The group argues doctors should not have to worry about a prosecutor or jury who may not have medical training second-guess their medical judgment in an emergency. Tennessee Right to Life says state lawmakers made amendments and came to an agreement, and this should be enough.
Irreversible bodily harm or organ damage to organ function is it's always been clear. It's certainly much clearer now that the law has been revised, and so I understand that there is fear and worry by everybody involved in these stressful situations, but to me the law allows great leniency.
And again, the other side wants the court to clarify the Tennessee's abortion law, and also at the same time, the other side is also asking for the court to temporarily block the abortion ban. Reporting live at Metro Courthouse, Peyton Muse, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Peyton, thank you. Now to Crisis in the Classroom, a series you'll only see here on Fox 17 News. The Metro Nashville School Board wants to put more limits on what the public can say and for how long they can say it. And this is sparking a whole lot of debate in Metro public schools right now as it stands. If you want to speak at a Metro Nashville school board meeting, you have to register online and your comments are limited to 3 minutes per person. Well, now the board is proposing more limits on what people can say and for how long. They only want you to talk about issues that are on the agenda. And they're going to cap the comment section in all to just 30 minutes. So if you get 3 minutes to speak, they only are going to allow 10 speakers in a meeting in a district with more than 86,000 students. Again, this is their proposal. We want to know what you think about it. Do you think Metro schools should be limiting public comments like this even further? Right now, 77% of you say no. The poll is live right now. To cast your vote, go to our Fox Nashville Twitter account.
Well, looking ahead to 8:30, the man facing charges for the death of a Belmont University student had his first day in court. We're sharing some updates.
And TDOT has just released a list of
Clear Flow Gutter Guards, 888-300-4602.
Tonight in Smashville, the Preds will try to smash cancer as they also try to beat the St. Louis Blues. Going to be a real special night.
It is Hockey Fights Cancer Night over at Bridgestone Arena, as the Preds will be raising money through donations and special merchandise purchases. It will all go to benefit the Monroe Carroll Jr.'s Children's Hospital over at Vanderbilt.
And for a little bit of perspective, when the Preds did this last year, they raised more than $280,000 for this program. The Preds, by the way, when it comes to hockey, are 6 points ahead of the Blues in the conference rankings. So close to the playoffs here. Puck drops at 7 p.m. and just a handful or so matchups left to go.
7 games to go for the Preds in the regular season. We're hoping, of course, for more come playoff time.
There we are. Taking a look here. 8:27, we have our first shower of the morning. But it didn't give us any snowflakes. We're way too past that sunrise time of an hour and a half ago. Little light rain shower right in the Cookeville area. Little pitter patter of some rain, that is it. A few more of those possible later on this afternoon, but nothing as heavy as yesterday. Moving forward, though, I'm going to go rack up future track for you. I want to show you the weekend and then also into Monday. And that's the first thing we're going to do when we get into our 8:30 half hour.
Greg, thank you very much. I want to remind you that we've got some work going on that will impact traffic for you. TDOT letting us know that April 5th through the 8th, okay, that's going to be tomorrow through Monday, and then again April 12th through the 15th, they will be closing the bridge at the I-40, I-24, I-65 split. I know that's a mouthful. All right, this is the interchange that, if you were to look at a map, is just east of Rosa Parks and just north of Jefferson Street. This is the flyover bridge. If you were leaving downtown Nashville, say Topgolf, and you were trying to go I-65 north or I-40 west, this is that I-40 west bridge work that's going to be happening. It will be a bit of a mess.
It will be a bit of a mess for sure. TDOT says that drivers using 65 South will not be impacted and will be able to get by here a little bit. Drivers are urged to slow down and allow for extra time to get through the area. All right, steer clear traffic, everyone, as you get out the door this morning. It is slow right now. 24 at the Silman Evans Bridge downtown. We've got the details on the best way to steer clear.
I felt like my soul was ripped out of me when she was laying on that ground. I just prayed and I prayed and I just felt like everything in me was gone. I was so praying that God would save her.
And tracking new developments in the trial for the man accused of hitting, actually rather convicted of hitting and killing a mid-state.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Alive Hospice. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Thanks for waking up with us here on a Thursday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We're glad to be your live local news source through 9 a.m. We enter our 8:30 half hour right now.
I was talking to them saying, my mom said, don't close my eyes, I have to stay awake. And so I was just sitting there looking up, like repeating that to myself.
It's been an emotional roller coaster for the Smyrna volleyball standout right behind me here. Janae Edmondson is her name. This morning, though, we're learning more about the man convicted and facing several charges after the crash. Daniel Riley has filed for a retrial, though. Now, according to court documents, Daniel Riley's lawyer filed a motion for acquittal or a new trial in the Janae Edmondson case, claiming Riley was facing prejudice when the court included evidence that Riley had used drugs in the past. Edmondson was in Missouri for a volleyball tournament when she was struck by a car. Ultimately, both of her legs had to be amputated as a result of the crash. Riley was behind the wheel of the car that hit Edmondson. Now, if you'd like to catch up on previous reporting about this story, get all the updates, including a link to the GoFundMe page for Janae Edmondson, go to fox17.com and search her name. Again, that is Janae Edmondson.
Operation Crime and Justice right now. The man who is accused of killing Belmont University freshman Julian Ludwig making his first court appearance. Police say Ludwig died when a stray bullet hit her in the head. 29-year-old Shaquille Taylor, according to police, is the one who fired that shot. She was just walking in a park near campus. Well, the interesting portion of this story is the fact that Taylor, who was free when Ludwig died, had been found incompetent to stand trial in another violent crime. And many experts argue he should have never been free. He is now charged with murder and tampering with evidence. Those details I just described are some of the factors that led to the creation of Jillian's Law here in Tennessee. By the way, Taylor is set to be back in court May 1st for a hearing.
8:34 is the time, and we're taking a look over on fox17.com this Thursday morning, letting you know that it's been a topic we've been covering over a year now. We're talking about Nashville police cracking down on car thefts. They're strongly encouraging folks to go ahead and lock your car doors, secure any valuables, especially guns, and then this may seem like a no-brainer. Go ahead and just remove the keys. Local crews have been working hard, they say, to combat car thefts and similar crimes, which they believe have resulted in about 260 arrests, 156 stolen vehicle recoveries, and 69 gun recoveries. You can read more about this story by going to fox17.com.
And here we go. A look at your forecast, 8:35. Let's just get you all the things you need to know unpacked and just get you moving here this morning and getting you out the door to 30s. Winter coat. This is how we feel. Feels like temperature of 28 in Crossville, 37 in Murfreesboro, 35 in Columbia, 33 in Lewisburg. Fairly cloudy right now. Going into the weekend, we're going to keep a lot of that cloud cover until we get to tomorrow. Then it'll break up. Here's Saturday going into Sunday. We're going to have a lot of sunshine for the weekend, but cold mornings. We're going to be in the 30s tomorrow morning and the morning after. I'm stopping future track here, getting us into Sunday evening. Monday is the eclipse. Our forecast, we will take you through the rest of Sunday night and into Monday and show you the path to totality, but also show you what it means for us here back home, because there is a possibility. We do see a few showers and storms. I want to piece together all the variables and what we're seeing. In the meantime, a pop-up shower this afternoon with a high of 53.
Steer clear traffic this morning. Let's take a look at I-24 at the Selman Evans Bridge. This is in the heart of downtown Nashville, there next to Nissan Stadium. We do have a couple of disabled trucks here in this area hauling things. They're on the shoulder of the road. Metro Police there as well. That means everybody's having to move over a little bit, and this is causing a bit of a stoppage through downtown. Give yourself an extra 10 to 15 minutes. You can jump off and maneuver your way through. It's not worth it. Just give yourself the extra time. That's going to be your best bet. A slow go north of town, 65 at 24 as you creep in from Madison and Goodlettsville, Hendersonville, Millersville, all the villes down to the bigger ville, and that is Nashville. You want to try to take Ellington Parkway or Dickerson Pike to try and steer clear of the backup.
8:36 right now, and there's been a pretty steadfast rule that's been in place for decades now, and it comes to what you can afford to pay for where you live, right? That old 30% rule. You never pay more than 30% of your monthly income on where you're living. Well, these days, that number looks more like 50%, with people living in certain cities paying well more than that just to either rent or pay mortgage.
Yeah, right now, Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar joining us out there live in Green Hills, talking about a study showing the average home price increasing by nearly 200%. What? Karen, what can you tell us?
Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. And there are a lot of homes for sale here in Nashville, including this one. But the question is, can you afford it? A new study says maybe not. Housing prices have gone up more than double in just the past decade alone. Not just for homeowners, but also for renters. 1 out of 4 people are spending 50% of their income on rent. And when these kind of house prices, your mortgage can flirt with 50% of your income. Justin Holder with Park Realtor gives us some perspective on what buyers are facing.
For a lot of buyers, that will mean waiting for a while. Lending incentives, I think we will see more of those come up. We're already seeing with builders, some builders are offering incentives, but fact of the matter is, for a lot of buyers, this may mean that they do rent a little bit longer. It may mean that they have to save a little bit longer for their down payment. It may mean that, again, purchasing right now may not be in their scope of reality.
So if you want to rent or buy a home in Nashville, be prepared to make some sacrifices. Reporting live in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
And I was like, oh my God, no. And I get up and I'm walking around storming, and like I open the door and I go outside and there's nothing.
All right, there was nothing. Imagine ordering a brand new TV to your home and it's taken within minutes.
888-300-4602.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by the Rocky McElhaney Law Firm.
Hey there, welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. Let's take a look at what's trending right now. We love interacting with y'all over on our Facebook page. Sometimes we get a little heated, get into it, but either way, we like engaging with you, and we know that there are a lot of topics that really get you fired up. One of them currently on our Fox Nashville Facebook page is tipping at restaurants. Half of Americans recently polled said that they usually leave a tip only because of social pressure, not because they got good service. So let's see what you had to say about the topic. And some of these are super interesting. So Vicky Whitking right here says, I tip accordingly, but I agree with it being way out of control. I think what she and others are referencing in this thread are the fact that fast food places are now asking you to tip. Sherman Lee Kello said, why would I tip a cashier at a fast food place or a convenience store? I only tip for table service, good food, and fast delivery. Let's see here, more. David Rich says good food has no bearing on the server at all. You tip based on how the server takes care of you. 20% is not going to cut it now. 30% amount of the bill. One more real quickly before we go. This is interesting. Jared and Lyle says that's why service has been terrible for years. If the service is no good, then don't leave a tip. Only then will people start treating customers right.
A lot of strong opinions over there on our social media account.
There are. Yes,
so
there
heads
are.
up. Let's now talk about I-24 at the Silman Evans Bridge downtown Nashville. We are dealing with a bit of a slowdown as Metro Police have arrived to deal with this. Give yourself an extra 10 to 15 minutes. That's what you're going to need to get through some of this slowdown caused by this crash or disabled vehicles, one or the other, sitting there on the sideline. Let's talk about I-24 Hickory Hollow Parkway. 30 miles per hour is what they're telling us. Remember, this is not a suggestion. This is the law coming through this particular area of I-24. 30 miles per hour speed limit right now. So just trying to make sure everyone is orderly as you make your way into town from Antioch, Smyrna, and Laverne.
How do you think they're going to deal with you about your injuries? We can help. Call us at 615-242-9000.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning, 8:46. We have an update right now to a story that we previously told you about involving a Wilson County woman who had a brand new TV stolen right off her porch. She says by the men who delivered it.
And listen, her Ring doorbell camera video got all of them in the act. Fox 17 News' Dennis Ferrier showing us after our story aired how Walmart agreed to go ahead and give her another TV, Dennis.
That's right. It's a story we love to report when big companies or government decide to do the right thing. But here's the background. Christina Scheer was so excited to get her new TV. She'd been thinking about buying it for more than a year. It's kind of expensive. But when it finally came, it vanished into thin air. But then they looked at their doorbell camera and a very different story emerged.
The Walmart delivery people took a nice picture of Christina Scheer's new TV placed perfectly on the front porch. She was actually in the house. She got to the front door just minutes after the delivery.
And I was like, oh my God, no. And I get up and I'm walking around storming, and like I open the door and I go outside and there's nothing. And I'm like, okay, well maybe we put it on the side of the house. So I'm running down there looking on the side of the house, nothing. And I was like, oh my God. And I'm walking back up to the house and I'm like, what happened?
Porch pirate, she told her boyfriend, and then lost it.
And I went into my room and I just boohoo cried because I was like, why would this happen to me? Like, what did I do to deserve this? I was like, I've literally been trying to buy this TV for like a year and a half.
But wait a minute. Christina had a doorbell camera. Her and her boyfriend started reviewing video, and oh my goodness, could it be true? You see the delivery men bringing the TV up to the porch. The next video shows them taking the TV back to the truck. Notice how far away they parked, way down the street, not in front of the house. She called the Wilson County Sheriff's Department, who came over and watched the video with them.
I think the delivery person took it. And so the sheriff looked at the same videos and he was like, that's what it's looking like. And I was just like, oh great, wonderful. So, and it was just like, it happened so fast. And I was just like, what now?
So she called Walmart, who subcontracts deliveries with a company called Roadie. Walmart actually got the delivery driver on the phone. All of a sudden, Christina is talking to the man she thinks stole her TV. And you're not going to believe what he told her.
Why are you being such an ungrateful bitch? Or something like that? And I flipped out. I was like, what? I was like, you just stole my TV. I'm not being ungrateful. I want the product that I ordered.
Here's where it gets crazier. Christina says Walmart told her they are not responsible for theft.
So basically, Walmart's like, we're done. We're washing. You got your stuff. Like, that's not our problem. So I was just like, what am I supposed to do with that?
We also contacted Walmart to see if that is truly policy. Is Walmart saying it is not responsible for the subcontractors it hires? At the same time, subcontractor Roadie says it's open an investigation. And the Wilson County Sheriff's Office is pursuing theft charges through multiple subpoenas. What did Walmart tell us? Nothing. They did not answer our email.
You would think that a billion-dollar company has insurance for these purposes. Like, not everybody is honest.
Shearer says Walmart has decided to give her a refund and a $100 gift card. You know, they never did contact us, but we don't mind.
Yeah.
We wanted her
You got the work done.
Right. We got the work.
results.
You know, it's so nice because we spend so much time doing stories that are just sad and hopeless.
Right.
And they don't end well.
These are helpful.
These are helpful.
All right.
Right?
Yeah, it's a lesson to keep pushing. Keep
Yeah.
at it.
Good, good punch. Good hand punch right there.
Thank you, Dennis. 8:50 is the time. Right now, we're going to send it over to Greg. Y'all take it easy, man.
We're about to get the boxing gloves out. A total solar eclipse, my curious question of the day, happens in the exact same location. Think Nashville. In Nashville. Every how many years apart? 80, 150, 375, or 790. Let's talk about our eclipse and then we'll get you your question. This is what the weather's going to look like Saturday and Sunday, loaded with sunshine. If the eclipse was either of those 2 days, it'd be fantastic, but tap the brakes. This is going to be Sunday. 7 p.m. right here, we're going to stop. And then take us into Monday, the potential for a few showers and storms Sunday night, and then cloud cover here and even a little rain early on Monday. Could give us some cloud cover at 2 p.m. We're not in totality, but if we get this thing, this thick blanket of cloud cover, we may have a hard time seeing it. All eyes glued to Monday. We'll get you your curious question answer and your 7-day before we get to 9 o'clock.
Last look at steer clear traffic for the morning takes us over to I-24 at Hickory Hollow Parkway. Reminder, everyone, they've got these 30-mile-per-hour signs up here. This is not a suggestion. This is the law. They want you to go at least 30 miles per hour here, or around 30 miles per hour coming through this particular zone. This is part of that Smart Way corridor they've got going on, and they're putting more of these up around the state. So heads up on that coming through Antioch. What about your total drive time, though? Well, let's get to it. Clarksville, 64 minutes coming out from Montgomery County. We are back under an hour for the first time in a long time. Coming in from Murfreesboro, 39 minutes, coming in from Williamson County this morning as we are doing good, not great, but good, getting out the door.
We'll take it, Justin. Thank you.
People who know.
People who know.
People who know the Higgins firm.
Receive storm alerts. Download the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather app.
We've had several updates throughout the morning on big stories. We now know, for example, the man accused of opening fire at a Salem town restaurant Easter Sunday will come back to Nashville from Kentucky to face charges.
Metro Police say Anton Rucker, the man on your screen here, was arrested Tuesday night over in Princeton, Kentucky, and waived extradition yesterday. Rucker is charged with criminal homicide for Sunday's deadly Easter Sunday shooting. Again, that happened at the Roasted Restaurant that's located over in Salem town.
Another Fox 17 News update. We now know the state of Tennessee is pursuing life in prison without parole for the man accused of killing his pregnant girlfriend. Blaze Taylor appearing before a Davidson County judge just yesterday. If you'd like to read more about this story, you can visit our website right now at fox17.com.
Also on our website, just want to make sure that you go ahead and know that you can search for Sebastian Rogers. We are continuing to follow any updates regarding the search efforts, so look throughout the day for more updates regarding that case.
We've been talking eclipse a ton lately because we're getting so close to it. It's been what's the forecast for weeks. And we just told you there's a chance for a little bit of cloud cover, but that's not set in stone, so we're going to keep watching that. We're still a few days away. There are always subtle changes, but my curious question this morning was, a total solar eclipse happens in the same exact location. Think just Nashville. Put that in your brain. Roughly every how many years apart? Exact same location. 80 years, 150 years, 375 years, or 790 years apart?
A.
A? Got a guess?
All right, well, I feel like this is somewhat of a trick question, or maybe just like hidden, but you're saying total solar eclipse in the same place.
Totality in the exact same city. So think Nashville. How often does it happen in the exact same
I don't know. I just feel like it might be more than 80.
Yeah.
C. But I don't know.
C. Going with C, Justin?
Okay.
All right, Jen, here we go. What are you going with?
B.
Okay, we have A, B, and C. Justin takes home the prize. Every 375 years is when it happens. And yeah, that means that it's not going to happen again here for quite some time because we had totality